smithy. And then once the lock is done, we're heading to Nakapata to retrieve the forge materials and bring them back in exchange for the price of the lock.
It's not forge materials, it's a forge.
Is it already set up?
I don't remember.
I thought it was just a material so he could set one up. Because that would be kind of difficult to put in a
maybe it is.
wagon.
I don't know.
It was a portable forge that he wanted retrieved.
I have to look at it. My notes here.
I don't remember if we differentiated whether it was assembled or not.
I'm pretty sure we did because we were concerned about carrying it back.
Yeah, because I don't think we could get an assembled forge inside the door in the back.
All right. So yeah, okay.
I was under the assumption it'd be a pallet of materials like we did with the ingots that we retrieved for dual shot.
Okay, so the recap. Okay. And I have to find music because I can't do this silent.
Is Caden gone live yet?
Yep. YouTube says yes.
I'm gonna have to dig a ways into the gone live messages to find the last. There it is. I had to dig a long ways up to get a hold of the most recent D&D live.
Let me unbury my dice between, 1,000 things.
28.
A mimic ate my dice.
What a shame.
You in that new bag. Have you seen his new bag, Caden?
You have to share it.
Posted a picture of it.
In what channel? We have 3 different D&D channels.
I already posted a picture of it.
Observant. Recently.
I think it was in the main D&D channel.
The public
one that's
one?
open to everybody. Yeah.
I've been
a while ago now.
Oh, cool. Little mimic bag.
Yep. Yeah, he got a little dice bag that looks like a mimic. Put his dice in.
Cool.
It even has a tongue.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, I guess
dice trays above that one.
Session 27 from like 5 weeks ago, if everyone remembers. Way back then. I don't even know. Okay. Okay, so from the border, you guys traveled another 5 days worth of travel, so a total of 13 days in Anise. That's nice, whatever you call it. Traveling past a small hamlet consisting of a church-like building and only a few small buildings, like people having a discussion out front. The group proceeded without interaction as their supplies were still quite good. So you guys continued on, And setting up between camps between two farm fields, the group rested the night. Nothing really happened that night. And Grimbolt's watch was fairly uneventful, though he received rather unorthodoxly a message from something that he sounded like Masochist, saying, "Be cautious of the people of the country, for they are not what they appear." But only Grimbolt could hear that. So, with that, a farmer was hailed over to the group that you saw, and he gave a time estimate to the next town of 2 days, recommending going around the next village. Next town, the cart went straight through the center of the decapitated, run-down town that consisted of a tavern-looking building and a few houses. Marco was drawn in with a child's voice, and upon return, opening the door, opened up and looked back, seeing the girl in the middle of the road that you have seen, and decided to fall out the back and go to them, who vanished right in front of Marco's eyes. Marco entered the tavern looking for her and proceeded to go upstairs to the room. Jane decided to play rock, paper, scissors with Galen and lost. Went back to the town to follow Marco, entering the tavern, following the direction to go up the stairs, learning that the girl's family owns the tavern from the barkeep. As Marco entered the room, while Jane's downstairs, it's a pitch black room, and with his dark vision, he saw a little girl and approached her. She said her parents traded the amulet to allow her to live forever. She asked Marco to take her teddy bear and the amulet. He told the group that he only took the bear, but he did take the amulet secretly and put it on around his neck and hid it, and was holding the bear. As they left town, you guys were going down the road, a mammoth-sized metallic beast bathed in flames that ravaged the town after bursting forth from the tavern they just left shortly before. Why slow down, Caden?
Wait, what?
Marcos,
You were speaking really fast, and if we did not know exactly what happened, I don't think people could understand what you were saying. It was going by real quick.
I think he went on vacation time too much.
This is what the rewind function is for.
Yeah, exactly. I'm literally just reading these
Like
notes.
the 0.5 speed. And the 0.5. Oh my gosh.
Okay. It's okay, folks. Caden's getting old. Let's see. Okay, shortly after, this beast runs up from the building, and you guys, who was... Okay, I believe whoever saw it, that was driving.
That would be Jane and Galen that saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the group rushed away at a good gallop, according to the notes. So I guess you guys.
Grimbold also saw it, didn't he? Or recognized it when we described it, something like that?
Maybe?
He recognized it when you described it. This is what happened. He never actually saw it.
Yeah, he recognized it when you described it to him. That's right. So then you guys stopped at a small 5-building town to restock food and get a lock installed on the back door of the carriage. Marco agreed to retrieve the materials for a new forge from Nakapata in exchange for the lock install. The group begins setting up camp for the night. I believe you guys set up camp next to the smith.
Yep. Look at the Roll20 page. Smithy, the carriage, and then the campfire on the opposite side of the carriage.
Yep. Okay, and that is where we left off of you guys. Either you guys set up camp. Yeah, you guys set up camp.
Yep.
But
We were getting ready to
haven't-
go to sleep and start watch for the night.
Yep.
I believe, if I remember right, I think the last thing that was happening was Jane was returning from the forge after watching him make something, make the lock or whatever.
Correct. I watched him make the lock.
I think that was the last thing. Jane was just stepping out of the forge.
Okay.
So before we get into it, does anybody have questions?
I don't know what to ask until it comes up. Because it's been such a long time.
Yeah. Nothing immediately picking at anybody's brains.
I'm pretty sure Grimbolt recognized the beast, but he didn't say anything.
I think
No,
so,
he
yep.
kept it to himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jane was the one that talked to him about it, I believe.
Yep.
So Jane would be the only one that would have any idea whether he showed any sign of recognizing it. Nobody else spoke with him.
I did not insight check him, so I didn't notice.
All right, I guess we leave it to Holland then.
Okay. You guys are set up for the night. I guess Jane already got back.
Sure, we'll go with that.
And I don't think anyone else went anywhere else, so you guys are just setting up camp at this time.
Yep, I think he's installing the lock in the morning. I think he just finished forging it, but he was going to install it tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
So, I guess I'll take first watch.
Sure.
I'll take third watch.
I think the last one? Fourth one?
So Grimbolt will go second.
If he comes out of his workshop.
That door is going to be convenient for the nights that he's gone. Grimbolt just goes into a dedicated session of research.
He has a good perception. Oh, bro. Okay.
That was from 5 weeks ago.
Okay, Holland, blue or black?
Oh, unless you're looking at Grimbolt stats. Never mind.
Blue or black? Blue.
Okay. That's the die I'll use.
Well, starting out, I am going to basically just keep my eyes peeled while I'm munching on an apple.
Okay. Alright. Perception.
25.
Alright. Town seems really quiet at night. Except for he made the lock and you can see his forge is slightly still lit just to keep the flame going. But he pretty much went to bed. The whole town went to bed.
Doesn't. Wow. Oh, that was an air bubble. Nothing seems out of place.
Wow.
That was a question. I didn't mean that as a statement. Holland?
What?
I was saying, does anything seem out of place?
No.
Okay. Alright. So as things get quieter for the second half, Marco will kind of stop pacing and he'll just kind of meditate for the second half of his shift.
Okay. Your shift ends.
Alright. I'll get up and head to the back of the carriage and start beating on the door to Grimbolt's lair.
Grimbolt answers the door.
Your turn. And I just head back outside and pass back out on the ground.
Yeah. So he's got to lock up it. He like shuts the door on his lab, walks out, does his watch. I'll roll for him. that's okay. Okay. Nothing happens. Sorry, just watch. He goes over to who's going third?
Jane.
Jane's going third, so he walks over to Jane, kicks you just slightly.
You realize where Jane sleeps, right?
Oh, that's right, on the top of the chair. He picks up a rock and throws it at you.
Hey!
That's becoming a trend.
People are so rude. I don't throw rocks at you.
Unarmed strike. That's a 15.
Oh, he straight up chucked it.
If it's a 15, he hit me, because Jane's only got 14 AC.
All right. He didn't mean to do any like damage, so there's no damage to it. It actually hit you though.
So he actually hit me and woke me up.
Yep. And he says, it's your turn. And then just walks back to the back of the carriage and goes back to his door, opens it and closes it.
Rolled a 14 plus 8, 22.
Okay. Nothing happened during your watch.
Oh, well, it's uneventful, so I will, crawl to the end of the carriage, open the door, and, Galen,
What? Wait, what? Armor? What?
your turn. Watch.
Oh, that's fine. Goes outside. Pseudo dragon decides to stay asleep. Does not come with. Hops up on top. What? Does Jane like sleep right in the middle, or does he sleep like on the top?
Towards the front.
Towards the front? All right. Galen will climb up the back and just like sit, looking around top of the carriage, on the back of the carriage, very top back. I guess investigation.
Yep. More perception right now.
Oh. Same roll.
Fine.
23.
Alright, so looking around. Yep, see anything? Nothing out of the ordinary, it's just a calm night. Rest of the night, at least.
After a thorough investigation, you
Nothing.
decide the darkness is innocent.
It's there. Wakes everybody up at the end of the shift. I don't know. Goes over, taps on Marco's shell. Marco, time to wake up. Let's go. And goes to everybody else too, slowly.
Gotta quickly check and see what I have for supplies again. It's been so long. Okay. So when Marco gets up, he'll just kind of set to work with a frying pan and make it over relighting the campfire. Taking some beef and making some kind of pseudo bacon out of beef.
Steak and eggs?
I don't have any eggs.
So,
How close is the forest?
the forest is actually pretty close.
Think I could go find some eggs in the forest?
You can try?
I want some eggs.
Comes back with another hole in his gut.
Good luck.
And Grimbolt steps out of the back of the wagon and starts like sniffing around. He's like, waffles?
Yeah, grab a few out of the cold box. I'll warm them up.
And he looks around and he's like, nope, fresh waffles.
Oh, you're on your own on that one.
Make a perception check for me real quick.
All right.
I'll give you advantage on it too.
Oh, that's a good thing. Oh, that's even worse.
Oh my god, hold on.
11.
It's not that hard to smell something not too far, so it's fine.
I got an 11.
And you smell like all these breakfast foods mixed together coming from the tavern basically next door. Or like across the compound. There we go. Yeah. 22 on survival? Holy crap. In this land.
There's gotta be birds. Remember, Jane's a cat.
I have to figure out what birds I put here. Hold on.
So, anybody want to go with Grimbolt to the tavern to get waffles?
Not really. We need whatever's here, I guess.
Alright.
I guess you're on your own, Grimbolt.
Jane, how you do find eggs.
Excellent.
How stealthy are you being in this forest?
Well, if I'm sneaking up on bird nests to find eggs, I'm probably sneaking, like, properly. You know what? No, I'm not sneaking. I'm invisibro. And I rolled a 19 for turning invisible, so poof. Now I'm sneaking.
What is it, a skill or a spell?
It's an item. I can do it once a day.
And he
You
did it
used it immediately in the morning.
Did it to find eggs.
I need you to do a wisdom saving throw.
You know what? It's cool.
Okay, well-
I don't think we'll have any combat today. We haven't for a while. We'll be fine.
Well, my stealth roll was 16, and
Okay.
you want the wisdom saving throw. So that's a 13 and plus 2, so 15.
All right. So nothing happens, but you do hear this like singing in the air.
Singing?
Singing.
Okay. What direction is it coming from?
From above.
Above? Okay, I'm obviously going to climb a tree and look.
Aren't you already in a tree getting eggs?
No, I'll climb another one.
You climb trees, and you're not being stealthy at all, are you?
Oh, yes, I am.
Are you? All right. What was your stealth check?
Crap. I didn't write it
16
down.
is what you had said.
16. All right. So you climb up, and you're being sneaky as much as possible, trying to climb these trees. And up above, you see these humanoid creatures with these bird wings sitting on top of branches, have some bigger nests with some eggs in them, similar to the ones you found on a lower branch.
Okay. What do these bird things look like?
It's like a humanoid woman that has bird wings, and their arms are slightly longer and have talons at the edge of them, and then their legs go like up to their knee for a humanoid, and then it turns into kind of like a bird type leg with talons at the end.
Did you really just make me run into a group of my previous character?
No, these are
No, that is not what he is saying.
Wait, they're all women?
Yes.
Are they very brown and
Well, some of them are like pinkish purple too. They can go.
and very not wearing clothing?
Yes, they are.
And
Wait, was that a yes to them not, or yes they are wearing clothing?
They kind of like have pointy ears, similar to like what an elf looks like.
crap, I am slowly sneaking back down the tree. And I am being quiet and stealthy.
Oh, did you say they were wearing clothes or they weren't?
No, they weren't.
Okay.
They are not. They are harpies. I am running away. Well, I am slowly moving away stealthily.
Okay. They did not see you, so they are just still up on the top of the branches, just singing their song.
And I am headed back to Marco. How many eggs did I get?
2.
Okay.
They're like basically ostrich eggs because they're human sized. So, or maybe a little smaller than an ostrich egg.
But still, two eggs that'll feed like 4 people.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Roll for
Okay.
fertility.
So. Oh.
Like it's a baby.
That's up to Holland. I mean, I'm gonna hand him over and be like, "Hey,
He's already got a griffin egg. What's one more?
Oh my god. Jane starts growing a heartbeat. I'll be like,
Have a whole
I'll
be
season
like,
by the end.
screw this, I'm killing it.
Anyways, so yeah, I will come back and come back to the carriage while Marco's still making breakfast. I hope, because it does take a little while to cook, especially over a campfire.
Yeah, so I had to get the pan and everything heated up, which takes a while.
So when I come back, I'll be like, so Marco, how are you with eggs?
Fine.
And I hold out both of the eggs.
I'm gonna take them one in each hand and look them over. Do I recognize these eggs?
Do
'Cause I'm
they-
assuming with the size of these eggs, they're definitely like throwing up a red flag.
You know what? Do an investigation check for them.
Not my strong suit. 13.
It comes from a larger creature.
Of course, that's all I know. So, where did you get these?
From a harpy nest.
Are you sure they were harpies? You confirmed it.
Yeah, I kind of got a good look at them.
Aren't those things really territorial?
Yeah. You realize you're talking to a couple of, like, floating eggs, right?
Well, you spoke to me when you handed them over.
Okay, well, you're talking to the air. And I was like,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Oh, you realize how much trouble we could cause
What?
if we
They
break
didn't
these
see
eggs
me.
and leave the evidence here?
Breakfast? There's not going to be any evidence. They're still wild creatures, just like any other bird.
All right, we just gotta make sure we dispose of these shells. I have a bad feeling about these things.
Compost, baby. Compost.
Still all set to work frying up the eggs too.
Yeah,
After
so we
the
either
meat's done. and I'm basically just taking a slab of beef and just cutting it into like bacon thin strips. So it's still beef, it's just super, super thin.
Strip steak and eggs. I'm all for it.
Yep.
I mean,
so did Grimbolt take off for the tavern, or do we still see him around?
Grimbold took off for the tavern.
Okay.
He smelled fresh waffles. So I'm putting him there.
I mean, you're learning to be a gourmet chef, so why not use exotic ingredients?
Because I don't feel like pissing off a wild nest of harpies.
It'll be fine.
I'm trying to figure out how harpies produce, but I can't find it. I never.
The same. I'm not aware they reproduce the same as humans.
Do they?
They're more bird than.
Yeah, but they reproduce the same way. They just lay eggs.
Well, the thing is, like, I never seen a male harpy, so that's kind of. I'm trying to
That's my curiosity. I was like, how can the eggs even be fertile?
Yeah, so I've been trying to like Google it.
I mean, are they, like Godzilla here? Asexual reproduction? They just lay clusters of eggs that spawn clones?
Here we go. I found it in Forgotten Realms.
There are no physical difference between male and female harpies. The males possess
they have the same figure. There is male and female. They just look the same.
Yeah, they are.
With the exception of that one particular organ.
Yeah, basically.
They're birds.
Other than that, they're all the same.
Yep. So basically the same. So, so Grimbolt ran off to the tavern, and the three of you are just, Marco's cooking, and you came in with eggs, and Galen, I don't even know what Galen's doing.
Eating steak?
And
I think you meant while I'm cooking.
Mm-hmm. Sitting there. Wait, watching these floating eggs show up?
Still waking up.
Not.
Okay.
So I wait for breakfast to be cooked, and then, it's breakfast time.
Yep. I'm gonna guess like Marco's like he's like cooking away. He knows when to, when it's done, and starts serving it out to everyone.
It's a pretty basic recipe.
Yeah.
Pinch of seasonings, and it's just a real quick thing. It's not anything complicated.
And you see Fernan come over, and he's got the lock, and he's got a bag of tools, and he's coming over to the cart or to install it.
Ignore that roll. I'm just seeing how many spice recharges I get.
So he starts taking out a chisel and chiseling out the lock place, and while you guys are eating, all you hear is like a hammer hitting metal.
Ting 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 ting.
No, Jane, I'm surprised that hammering doesn't bug your ears.
I can bolt them down.
And then he starts taking out the saw and cutting out a piece.
Come on, I want sound effects. Tyson isn't here. Someone has to take up the slack.
I kind of wish I had a sound effect board, to be honest. If I had, a 300 button sound effect with little buttons just hit.
You gotta take 45 minutes and describe the sound effect.
You hear the saw slightly cut one way, and it goes, and then pushes another way. It just says "Shh" again, and it's back and forth.
Don't pull a dungeons. Insult the DM and get a bunch of random attacks pulled on us.
Angry bears.
Don't worry, I already rolled it. The harpies were coming back.
I'm still worried about that.
Hey, I snuck away cleanly.
That doesn't mean that we're going to get away with it if they see broken shells over here.
Then the cutting stops, and you start feeling like fiddling of metal. Parts for the lock being put on. It takes him probably about like an hour to fit the lock on your door.
That's not too bad. About enough time for breakfast.
Yeah. And then once he fits it on the door, and you guys are pretty much done breakfast, I guess.
Yeah, because I had to wash up the pan and whatnot.
He is now making keys. And he kind of looks over at you and like, how many keys am I making?
I think we agreed on 4.
4, alright. So he makes like 1, makes it, and then he copies that key 3 more times. And then he makes a spare.
Sounds good.
And he marks the first one he made with some paint. And he tries that key. And it works perfectly. And then puts that key off to the side and then tries all of the 4 other keys. And they all work perfectly as he made them. And he hands out the 4 keys, realizing there's only 3 of you. And hands Marco the second key, and so that's for your.
As he's handing Marco the second key, it gets snatched out of his hand and floats in the air a little bit till it disappears into my pocket.
Okay, and then he takes out the one that's painted and says, "This is the master key.
Okay.
If you need to make copies, you need to have this key."
So don't use that one. Got it.
If you could either want to keep it yourself and try not to lose it, or I normally keep every spare key that I make, and then when people ask for new keys, I just make them from.
Well, we're headed pretty far away, several nations away, so it'd probably be good if we kept it with the carriage.
Okay. And you do notice that this key has, on the back of it, has a square, kind of like a flat square, large part at the back. Yeah, it's like normally where like it would go into like a loop. Like there's a small spot where you can put it on like a keychain, but it actually has a marking of actually a non of the axe and the hammer symbol that you've seen before, and it's actually it's made into that back part.
So it has a maker's mark.
Yeah, it has a maker's mark to it. And then up the shaft of the key is like Celtic, like a spiral Celtic symbol until it reaches the key part that you stick in the door. And that's the master key. The other keys he gave you are just like flat and boring, and they work. They open the door and they lock it. So he holds it out and says, so who's getting this key?
It's your carriage, Marco.
I'll just reach out and take the master key and one of the spares.
Okay. So hands you that master key and says, all right, I'll be waiting for you for the forge.
Oh, all right. I'll just kind of start handing out the spare keys.
Thank you.
I'll tuck the master key into my coin pouch and then throw my coin pouch back in my bag.
Okay.
Throw my spare key just in my bag loosely. So how far, looking at the smith, how far away from Nakapata are we?
Oh, not too far. Let me get a map.
My key is tied to the inside of my belt.
Alright, so you guys are in here. I would say about 5-6 days. Oh, also, Galen, I need you to roll a D100.
I forgot about that.
I did too.
Roll a 1.
That would be a heck of a comeback to the event.
81.
Well, he rolled a 1, just accompanied by an 80.
Yeah, I think you just need to put a 001 in front of that. Okay. So now that we're back on to that week. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's about 5-6 day travel.
It's not too bad. Any turnoffs or anything we need to worry about, or we just keep following the road?
It's not too bad of a trip. It's mostly just it's a stone path out up north. Actually, you just follow that direction. He points the direction that Jane came from. And says, if you go through the woods, you'll eventually lead to a curving stone path in the woods. And that will eventually take you into a dirt path going north. And it'll actually lead you through some hills, and you'll meet up to a mountain. And you go towards the mountain, you'll be right there. If that makes any sense to you whatsoever.
I'm attempting to take notes and try and recall it. Recall everything you just said.
There was a path and a mountain. That's all I got.
Head into the woods that I just came back out of?
But before you go, I got a few notes in my mailbox, and there's a couple people around town who actually want, since you're going to Nakapata, have some favors to ask you, and I'm sure they're willing to pay.
I mean, the trip is going to be expensive. Just kind of eyeing the rest of the group.
Again, your carriage.
Depends on what the requests are.
True. So, what all buildings or what all places in town here wanted our attention?
Let's see. At this time of the day, and since it's still breakfast, the tavern would be the best part to find everyone.
Gotta go
Margaret
find Waffle
shrugs.
Boy.
That worth, at least worth checking it out.
I suppose so.
And there's no harm in asking.
So wait, what's the name of this town? I don't think we ever asked you that.
This town?
Yeah,
Yes.
talking to the smith.
Thorovik.
Gesundheit?
Wow, you say that to every name.
I probably did not spell that right.
I mean, we are in the country of a sneeze on the continent of a chew.
There you go, Thorovik.
Yep, I spelled it wrong. Tavern.
Okay. So I'm gonna guess you locked up your carriage.
Yep.
Okay. You bring your carriage in with you to the.
Nah.
Okay. So
Usually
who
where's
else?
that?
Who else is going to the tavern?
I will follow. I won't say a word, but I'll follow.
Okay. What about Galen?
Oh, I said sure.
Okay. Okay, so you guys head over to the tavern. You come up to the wooden door in the front. Who's opening the door first?
It would either be me or Galen.
I'll open
You
the
try like in the
door.
back or in front? Okay.
So you open the door and like it's nice and quiet out here, outside. You open the door and it's just so loud. Like people are just talking and it's like the place is like a huge hit. The place is packed.
So like a
I
positive
closed the door.
atmosphere, or are we talking like kind of a rundown, just rowdy atmosphere?
Think of like a very busy restaurant.
It's a little
It's
more
the
on the positive side. Okay.
Yeah, very positive.
It's the breakfast crowd.
All right, well, I guess I'll head on in, unless Galen actually did close the door.
Opens the door, sees the shenanigans going on. Nope. Closes it, goes back to the carriage and goes to sleep. Just kidding. We're going in.
I will be careful not to bump into people.
Guess I'll just head right for the bar.
Okay.
Sure.
And
Opens it at
you
the bar.
see, you guys are walking around and you realize that there's like a group of people surrounding a table. Like standing up, and you can see some slight horns popping up in the middle.
Oh no. So do these people look agitated, or what kind of a mood is it around this?
They're
horns?
like cheering, like
Oh,
cheering
no.
someone on.
Okay. So, Galen, do you want to go find out what our set of horns has gotten up to?
No, he's probably having some kind of waffle eating contest with himself or something, and people are cheering on. Most likely what's happening over there. I mean, I get up, I walk over. What's the commotion?
I'll sit down at the bar. Well, walk up to the bar and move the stool out of the way.
So you're gonna go investigate what's happening with Grubble.
Sure, why
Okay.
not?
Okay, you kind of like squeeze yourself like through and the crowd, and you see Grimbolt in front of half the table. He has a nice like 4-person table, and half the table is empty plates, and the other half is just piles of waffles.
Yep, he called it.
And he is downing them even more, and
I called it. I just say to myself, standing there watching the shenanigans. Ooh. You enjoying yourself, Grimbolt?
With like a stuffed face, he's like, yes.
I figured so. Carry on. I just watch.
Well, that's happening. I will go up to the bartender.
Bartender, just cleaning some glasses, throws, like some orange juice down to the end of the bar. And the cooking place is like at like a normal restaurant. You grab plates and hand them out. He's grabbing plates, and whoever's sitting at the bar is like throwing them at people who are eating, not physically, but tossing them, sliding them down the bar. There we go.
So we're doing a favor for the smithy, going to retrieve some material. He said we should come talk to people here in case they had favors they needed.
So you're going out. Let's see. What do I need? Anything?
I take it you don't get a lot of people coming through here.
No. But I know Aaron needs some stuff. Ridga needs some stuff. Woodwee over there needs something.
Say those names again.
So there's where's the names? Arid, Ridga, and Woodwee. And I probably have to copy all of those names for you.
So, who in this crowd of people are they? I turn to look at the crowd.
Arid over there is always wearing a black. He's always wearing a black plate with these white yellow streaks through it. Very nice pattern, kind of like lightning. He's over there. Normally sits with a couple others. Let's see, Ridga's over there with her crowd. And where's Woodwee? Woodwee would be... he looks like he's back there with some... at a table with a line over there.
The table he's referencing the one with the set of horns.
No, like you see, he's referencing a table where you ever been to like a tavern where they are recruiting people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what he's like, a recruiting table, like having people sign on a piece of paper.
Okay. So, who are these people?
Arid is our cleric of the town. He protects. He's actually he's the noble here, who kind of is the lord of our town. Ridga is the female dwarf over there. She runs our general store. And Woodley, he's the one who runs the guild hall. which is
All right.
basically next door.
Well, I guess we'll head off in the direction of Arid. I'm sure, and Marco just kind of starts speaking into the air. I'm sure Galen will get this information somehow.
Galen looks to the guy standing next to him. Did he just put 3 waffles stacked on top of each other in his mouth at the same time?
And it's like a little dwarf, a short dwarf next to you, and he's like, "Yeah, he did."
All right. Well, props to him. Continues watching.
Curious if someone got my intent.
Nope.
So Galen gets poked in the back.
What? See anything? Back to watching waffles. What? This.
You might want to talk to Marco real quick.
That sounded a lot
This
like
is said
Jane.
in a low voice. This is said in a low Jane voice next to his ear. You might want to go talk to Marco first.
Ah! What's that? Gotta be careful with that. If I, like, froze you or something. Wherever you are.
You'd have to actually hit me first.
Oh, I've got things that can hit everything in here.
Yeah, but do you really want to make everybody mad?
You can't be angry if they're dead.
Yeah, but it's a whole lot funnier when you jump.
Whatever. Which way did he go?
He's over by the bar.
You say he left?
I said
Yeah.
over by the bar.
I made my way to Arid, which I don't actually know where in the tavern itself Arid is.
I go over to the bar. I don't see Marco.
I don't think you'd have too much trouble spotting a giant turtle.
I survey the room. I see a giant turtle. Walk towards it.
The only question is, does he get to me before I get to Arid?
No, it's a small tavern, so it can hold maybe 80 people in total.
That's a small tavern.
Yeah, I'd call that small.
Yeah, that's tiny.
Even your smallest like bar nowadays can hold like 200 people.
Shows you how much I go to those.
Well, a respectable bar, anyways. Dive bars, on the
That's
other hand, might be smaller.
capacity. That's not realistically how many you'd actually want to comfortably put in there.
Anyways,
So you get to Arid before Galen gets to you.
Hey, got a minute? I just hold my scaly little mitt out, or not scaly, my leathery little mitt out.
And he's talking to like a dwarf gentleman, just talking. Oh, hello. How can I help you?
Doing a favor, like Marco's kind of stumbling through this sentence because he's terrible at this stuff. Doing a favor for the smithy guy heading to Nakapata to retrieve a forge. He told me to come talk to a few people here to see if anybody else needed requests done.
Oh, yeah, of course. I need something done. We're actually looking for a new priest for the chapel. The
Okay.
previous priest left to go prey on the seas. That's what he said he did. He hasn't been back yet.
Okay. Any particulars, or do you have anything lined up?
No. I haven't been able to get to Nakapata in a while.
I don't know how much we'd be able to help with that particular request.
At about this point in
Any
the
priest will
conversation,
do.
About this point in the conversation, Gallon catches up to Marco. Marco! Friend, a disembodied voice told me to come see you.
Hey, you're really good with this kind of thing. I grab him by the shoulders, swing him in front of Arid, and I walk away to go over to Rid.
Whoa! 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 Wow!
I'm gone.
What just happened? Hello, person.
Look,
Hello.
What was transpiring here?
He was about to say he was going to go get me a priest from Nakapata.
How are you getting married?
No, I'm not. We need a priest for our church.
Ah, for an exorcism.
For our church.
I'm running out of okay, awesome. What do you, how do you have like a paper you need to send that way or something?
No.
How do we get a priest then?
Do you need me to make a document saying that we're requesting one?
That would be great. Things in writing is the way to go.
He just, out of his armor, he's wearing split mail, kind of like pulls out a little notebook between his splits. Pulls out a small vial of ink and a quill, and writes down literally like Thorovic is requesting a priest from Nakapata.
All right.
He signed Arid.
Now, wonderful. Now, for this service are we supposed to like fetch a priest and bring them back with us? Are we just like sending a message over there? What's the going rate here? Or fetching a priest or sending a message to get a priest? How much coin is involved in it?
Well, the church is paying for this, so...
Oh, the church is paying us for this then?
Yeah.
Right, so we take this to the church to discuss how much money we get.
No. Or we get the funds from the church. We're okay. The church will be paying... let me get some figures here.
Right. You have to consider, too, if we have to bring someone back, that's going to cost a lot more than just sending a message saying you want somebody, right?
Oh, there's 280 gold sound.
For which part?
For bringing someone back.
For bringing someone back. Is this person going to be cooperative?
It's a priest.
Is this person going to be cooperative?
Well, if we're requesting one, they should be sending one, so.
All right, wonderful. Okay. What's the turnaround on this? Are we going to be stuck there for a while? How long does it take to get there?
They have lots of churches up there. I'm sure you can find one and bring them back.
Fairly quickly, all right. How long does it take to get to Nakapata, I believe is what it's called?
About 5-6 days.
5 or 6 days?
Yeah.
The 250? Was it 270 gold?
280 gold.
290, wonderful.
Fine. Church is paying for it. I don't have to deal with this.
Oh, wonderful. 290 gold. And if we do a great job, maybe it'll go up to 300. Who knows?
No, maybe.
But so we'll put down 290 and then, wonderful. Get it on the piece of paper as well?
Sure. I'll put 300.
Oh,
300 gold.
Wonderful.
Pieces reward for bringing back a priest alive to Thorovic.
Is there a specific priest you're looking for? Which church do we need to go to? Which temple?
Any one of them will work.
Any, just in Nakapata, any single one.
Yeah.
So you can get like a priestess of chickens or something.
There's no priestess of chickens in these lands.
Wonderful. Making sure.
That you know of.
Could be. You never know. Could be an upcoming cult or something.
It would have been squashed by now.
Yeah, lots of squawking, very easy to find. Anyways, what was your name again, friend? I missed the whole first part of this conversation.
I am Arid.
Arid.
I am the noble and leader of this town.
Oh, well, wonderful. I'm Galen O'Laren, leader of the Galen Trading Company, and apparently a spokesperson for this party. Where did Marco go?
He's quickly heading over to Ridka.
Yeah, he bolted to Ridka.
Just,
he totally abandoned you.
I just see what I have to deal with. Look at this.
Jane followed Marco.
And where is that little pesty thing? He looks around and lifts up his arm and he's like, and on the table, eating a little tiny piece of cheese, is a black rat. And he's like, oh, there's Hamas. That's Hamas.
Wonderful. I have a little friend as well, too. Kind of pokes my shoulder a little bit.
Did you bring him with?
Mm-hmm. You wake up there.
He pokes his head up.
There you are. Just checking on you.
And it just ducks back down your armor.
Wonderful, wonderful. I have a friend, too.
How does he even fit in your armor as round as he is?
You literally see like it's a bulge.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's not armor, it's robes,
robes.
It's a
right?
robe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're not just like any robes. They're fancy. Not like priest robe or something.
Gotta hide that hunchback that is your pseudo dragon.
Talking about. All right, well, Arid, thank you so much. We'll get this ordered down. I have, this is written down. Wonderful. We'll get that taken care of. You said about 5 days travel, so it'll take at least probably 11 or 12. We spend 2 days there getting things all taken care of. Is there like an extreme time crunch on getting this back?
Oh, we've been waiting about 3 months for a priest.
Nice.
I think we wait a little bit longer.
A little bit longer. Okay, I'm just keep making sure, in case the search takes a little bit to get one, that we have a little bit of leeway. It's not like an immediate, we need one like tomorrow, something, you know, not really be feasible. But in case we get there and we take care of a couple of jobs and then we come back with the priest, just covering all our bases before we get started. So we have a couple things to do. We have to retrieve like the materials for this forge. We have to do whatever the heck Marco went. Where did he go? You can see him over there. All right. Well, if that's it, it was a pleasure meeting you. I will see you later with the priest, maybe. If we.
That sounds good to me.
Wonderful. Yeah, I don't know when we're leaving. I really have no idea what's going on. Besides that, I have this piece of paper now. So I will bid you adieu, my friend.
Good day.
Hey, I head over towards Marco.
So, Marco, you approach Ridka, who is a female dwarf wearing robes, has a long face, brown hair, and soft brown eyes. Her robes are copper, and on her back, laying not on the table, like against the table, is a quarterstaff. And on the table is a rabbit eating some lettuce. And across from Ridka is a female gnome, short with golden hair, blue eyes, wears simple clothing and a wide-brimmed hat.
I'll just walk up to the edge of the table. Ridgo, right?
Yes.
I believe the smithy said you had a request that needed solving.
Oh. What did I need? What did I need? I don't know.
I can't remember what you needed, sorry. He kind of chuckles to himself.
Athis! Do you remember what I need? And she's like, what?
Is this an old person?
Yes. Old gnome, female gnome. Athis,
Are they both old?
No.
Looking at them.
Redga is younger. Do you remember what I needed at the store? Nakapata. And she's like, nah, I don't know. He's like, I'm sorry. I probably mostly just need some supplies, basic supplies. And she takes out like a little notebook and flips through it. Oh, that's right. I'm looking for new items to sell in my shop. Mostly stock of like magical. It can be some materials for magic, but just some like magical stuff is fine.
You're looking for new merchandise.
Yeah, new merchandise or some magical stuff would be nice.
Any particular
components.
requirements or?
Oh, just like components to like do spells and such.
That's a pretty vague request. Any list or preferences or anything?
Just general. Sure, they just have just let them know that Ridga's looking for some magical stock.
So if it's you by name, is there a particular place you normally go to?
I go to all, unfortunately.
Quietly in Marco's ear, you hear, we should probably get Galen to handle this, too.
Galen is about 20 feet back watching.
So, in that case, do you have gold that we can purchase these supplies with, or?
Oh, yes.
Because if we just buy a whole bunch of random supplies and you say it wasn't what you were looking for, we're stuck with having spent a whole bunch of money for stuff that we probably don't need.
Yes. Where did I put that coin pouch? Oh, here it is. And it's a very large coin pouch. And she like opens it up. It's like sticks her hand into it, like her whole arm. And you notice that the pouch is only like maybe 5 inches above the table. Her whole arm goes down into it. It's like, money, that's not money. Nope, that's definitely not money. Oh, here's money. And she pulls out
I just kind of look
pouch.
at it very inquisitively, like tilting my head.
And she pulls out another pouch out of the pouch. And she's like, I don't know how much this is. And like she puts that off to the side and put her hand back in. She's like, nope. Oh, this is what I'm looking for. And takes out like a small scale and balances one bag on one side and puts some weight on the other. And it's like, I need another bag. She reaches back in. She's like, bag. Pulls another bag out, about the same size. Puts it on the other side of the scale. Puts more weight on there, on the other side, until it's even. She's like, takes the 2 bags and hands it to you. Yeah, that should be enough.
Okay, taking a look at it, I'll open it up and just kind of take a quick look. Do I have a rough idea of how much is in there, or would I have to actually count it?
Per bag or?
Wait, how many bags did she give me?
2 bags.
Can I see anything in her bag of holding?
No, it's basically a black void.
So, how much money did you just give me?
It's 1,000 gold.
Okay. So, So you want us to spend all of this on new product, correct?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. So upon bringing back the new product, what's our reward for this request?
Oh, I don't know. 150 gold?
All right, that's fair enough. It's not like it's a difficult task.
That's only a 1.5% tip.
Yeah. I'm not basing it off the rewards we've gotten so far out of character. Because even 150 gold is like enough for one of us to live for like 3 years.
Yeah, on like, a farmland and something. Yeah, it's like ridiculous.
That's a lot of money. All right.
So that's what I need.
Okay.
I normally go to the Cloud City there. They seem to have better quality stuff.
All right. I think we can manage that.
You should ask if the Cloud City is a city above Narcopada or a store in the city.
Oh, I didn't think about it, but I'm not going to say it because I didn't think about it. Unless you're saying it in my ear.
I'm saying it in your ear.
Okay, all right. Thought just came to me. Is this something that's literally above the city, or is that just the name of the place?
It's hard to explain. It's...
But if we say Cloud City, somebody will know what we're talking about.
Yes, Cloud City, yes.
Okay. All right, so that should work just fine. I think we're good.
Okay. I look forward to my shipment.
All right, Marco will just turn on his heel and head towards Woodwee.
Right, would we? Would we?
It's just kind of a half-hearted wave over his shoulder.
Yep. So you see when the bartender was pointing, you see out of like all the dwarves, you see a male human with black hair and blue eyes, wears plate mail, and has a mace and javelins on his back. Just talking to, he's actually at that table that I was mentioning, surrounded by a couple of dwarves.
All right, I'll walk up to the table.
He says, "Oh, someone who is not a dwarf, I see. Are you here to join the ranks?"
Nope. I am here because the smithy said there was people here that needed requests fulfilled. We're making a trip to Nakapada and back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a request. I have need for people to stand up and become guards of the town. Because you never know what kind of evil's brewing in these woods and within the world itself. I have a deal with someone from the fire area up there. If you can get them weapons, that'd be great. I have a deal. They'll be free. They'll all be decked out. And then
So they're already expecting somebody to come.
Yeah, it's kind of like an open door policy that I have with them. And then you want to take them to the cold mountains in Nakapata, which you want to meet a guy named Sender. He's a little bit harder to find, but he is very trustful and can train these people to become warriors.
Run this past me again. Where do we need to go to get these recruits?
Well, let me know when you're leaving.
Marco's just kind of scratching his head.
I will, whoever signed up on my sheet, I'm going to send them off your way, and they're going to follow you up to Nakapata.
Oh, we're taking them there.
You don't have to bring them back. I'll get them later.
Okay. So are we just taking them straight to the cold mountains?
Well, first you're going to be going to the fire area, where a guy will make them some weapons and some armor.
Do you have a name on this guy or somebody we should be in contact with to get this sorted?
Hidthos. Hidthos will be his name. For the armor and the weapons, and then Sender will be the guy you're looking for training purposes.
You should ask.
What's the
where
name
these
of the guy in
people
the cold
hang
area?
out.
Oh,
Yes.
what was the name of the one in the cold area?
Sender. Cender.
All right, so
No, you want me to spell the Hidthos one?
I kind of winged it.
It's Hidthos.
It's close.
Ask exactly where we can find these guys.
That's what I did, and I got the same answer.
So
So,
that's their usual hangout.
I'm hearing a lot of elemental things in regards to Nakapata. Is there something special about this city?
It's
I haven't been there before.
special enough.
So is this city split into sections, or what's up with this? Because I've heard
Yeah.
I've heard fire, cold, cloud.
Yes, it is split within sections.
And the sections are named after elements. Oh, okay.
Yes.
This is going to be interesting.
Are the sections actually hot, cold, windy?
In a way.
All right. So after we get them to the cold mountain, do we need to get like a note signed by Sender or something that we escorted them there?
From
To bring back to you so we can get paid?
Hidthos ask for a imprinted metal bar. Small.
Okay.
Ask for a small imprinted metal bar. You don't want the big one. You won't be able to carry it. And for let's see, for Sender, how can you could probably ask him for a note of some sort.
So how much are we going to make for escorting them there? Bearing in mind, I'm assuming we have to supply food and that kind of stuff too.
No, they supply their own food.
Okay.
Own
So
camping.
how much is this escort mission gonna run?
Oh, I don't know. Like 100 gold sound good?
I'm gonna have to go a little higher than that. We're
Per
getting
day?
100. We're getting 150 just to pick up some supplies for the merchant.
But you're not even bringing these people back.
Fair.
But we are guarding them on the way there.
So
I mean,
how
what if we
about
get waylaid
this?
by bandits?
Are you
How about
saying this to him?
If it's a,
Yes.
and I'm kind of playing off of what you're saying. You're saying it to me, right?
Yes, I am saying this to Marco's ear.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So how about this? If it's a smooth trip, we'll go with the 100 gold, because then they're just following us and it doesn't take any effort off of us. If we get attacked and we have to defend them, then we bump it up.
Hazard pay.
A hazard pay of sorts. As long as it's smooth, we stick with the 100, no problem. How's that sound?
All right, sounds good to me.
So, kind of hard to set a flat rate because it could be something as simple as I don't want to go and charge you like 50 gold because we got attacked by rats and get you on a technicality. So, we'll just discuss that when we get back, I think, depending on how bad we hit an attack was, if one ever happens.
All right, sounds good. Of course, you're gonna have to bring back proof that you did kill something.
Oh, yeah, and the recruits will be signing a note as well, saying that such and such happened.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
But yeah, we can take proof of death off the creatures as well.
A few goblin teeth won't hurt.
All right, should sort that out. We'll be leaving probably around noon.
I think what
You
did the
can swing
farmers
that?
need? Oh yeah. I was told that the farmers need new fertilizer and seed.
They have a representative or anybody we could talk to?
Where are we gonna store all this crap?
We're definitely going to be pushing the limits.
Let's see. Signa would probably be the best person to talk to.
Are they around or are they out of town?
Where he kind of like gets up a little bit and looks around the room, like, she's in the back corner over there. The one with her hood up, feet on the table.
All right. Should be good enough, and I'll turn around and look for Galen. Good.
Oh, you were looking for me. I didn't know if you found me or not.
I don't know where you are. Holland doesn't know where you went.
It's about 20 feet back, just or like just out of or in ear range where I could hear the conversation, but not like approaching because I saw what he did last time. Marco, so how much have you negotiated so far? I was able to get 300 gold off the leader for just getting a priest back here.
Well, they were definitely not leaders, so between the two, like 250 gold.
Not bad.
But it's very little effort.
Right. Yeah, we're supposed to go over there, get a priest, bring them back. 300 gold. Not bad.
I've got 150 gold for just heading to some place called Cloud City, saying Ridga needs new stock, and handing them 2 gold pouches. They throw some stuff in the wagon and we bring it back.
Right.
Or in the carriage. And then the other one, we just have to let. It's 100 gold to have a couple of recruits follow us to Nakapata.
Now, these trained
then-
recruits, are we babysitting?
They're going
They're
there to be
babysitting.
trained.
So they're not
We don't
trained yet,
have-
so we're babysitting.
Correct. We are escorting them. If it's a
Babysitting.
smooth trip, no attacks, 100 gold.
Oh boy.
Because we don't have to feed them or anything. They're literally just following us.
This is a
So we don't have
5-day
to pay-
trip?
We don't have to pay any attention to them whatsoever unless they get attacked. And if they get attacked, then we get hazard pay and we can haggle for that.
How dangerous is the road between here and there? Have we asked at all?
No idea, but I know Furball found harpies in the trees.
Oh, goodness. Like close by, even?
I have
In
no
the
idea.
forest, just saw. You actually
Yeah.
hear this loud enough for both. In the forest, for both, just outside of town. They're really not that far.
Goodness. All right. This could be interesting.
And we're supposed to talk to. I forgot their name already. Do you remember, Jane?
Who?
I don't remember the name of the farmer's representative.
Oh, was I supposed to be paying attention to that?
I may have let it slip my mind.
I was just following you around, offering bits of advice, but yeah, I wasn't really paying attention.
I was in ear range, but I think it was like Sigma or something, is what the fellow said. What the person said.
Yeah. I think he said Sigma was roughly over, and I just kind of generally point to the area that he had pointed to. I wasn't
Person,
really paying that close attention.
person with a cloak, something, or like,
Feet
Yeah,
on
you-
table.
I'll let you negotiate this one, but I think we're definitely pushing the limits of the carriage
I think it's the invisible one's turn.
because
But then
we'll have a forge and we'll have stock as well, which I can't imagine will be
And
very
pe-
much. Probably only a few items. Magical items are pretty expensive,
I see.
so it'll
And
probably
we'll have
only be. Oh, go ahead.
We will also have people following us.
Yeah, but that's not going to weigh the carriage down.
No, but it will still slow us down because we're gonna have to keep pace with them, or
Yeah. I was more worried about the return trip of not having enough room for all this stuff.
Right. We will have to have
Well-
a priest probably on the cart. On the
yeah,
way back.
passenger.
No, we should be
Forge-
fine.
We could always, if it really comes down to it, we could throw them into Grimbolt's laboratory.
Fair. Did you get any kind of
I think he
stuff
may
in
have an
writing?
issue with that.
Anything kind of things in writing
nope.
for these? You should probably grab
But keep in
something.
mind, if they decide to screw us over, I have 2 bags of 1,000 gold.
Fair. Which is way more
and
than
we're
what the
gonna
reward
get-
was going to
Which
be.
is going to get converted into magic items or magical components. So if they say they're not paying,
Keep the
fine.
stuff.
Yep, we just keep the stuff and we sell it to the next town,
Sounds good to me.
Or
or
use
keep
it.
anything that we might need.
Fair.
And as far as the recruits go, that's not really going to take any effort on our behalf. So they're literally just following us, and we just need to make sure we don't lose them.
I mean, if they get frozen. Oh.
So, looking around, do I see someone, sitting back at a table with their hood up and their feet on the table? Because Jane remembers that much.
Yep.
How many people?
There's one person, and there's 2 other people at the table.
Okay, but there's in the entire tavern, there's only one person doing that particular
Yes.
action.
Well, it's a pretty odd behavior, to be honest. It's not exactly normal.
Jane sleeps on top of a carriage most nights, so who is he to judge what's odd behavior? Anyways, so Jane will drop his invisibility.
In the
How many
middle
shouts?
of the tavern.
Yeah, how many shouts does this cause? Or does anybody even notice?
For when you shout?
No, when
No.
Jane pops out of nowhere, dropping his invisibility.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Let me get all my dice here. My hand can only hold so many d20s. Sorry. How close of Woodward were you when you did that?
I don't know. How far away? Well, we walked about
it-
20 feet.
Galen was 20 feet away and we went to meet him, so we'd be about 10 feet away.
Okay, 10 feet away. So you were 10 feet away from Woodward. And, like, you pop there and Woodward just looks. And just instantly, like,
Uh-oh.
took out a javelin, like, when you popped and was about to throw it.
Begins to try to recruit Jane.
And he's like, "You there? What is your name?"
Jane?
I haven't seen you here before.
He's with us.
That
I just kind of raised my meaty hand.
Ah, makes sense.
I like to not be seen.
That would be our information gatherer.
Oh, pincushion.
That too.
Hey,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
yeah, okay, you're not wrong.
Well, I guess in this sense, we'll let this slide.
Why? Did I break a law?
All right, don't piss off the one in charge of the military. And I just grab Jay and push him towards the Seifa.
He like slowly puts down his javelin, puts it in the back of him.
Apologies for my friend.
Later.
They mean well. We're just trying to cover our bases and stuff and get enough information for all these missions we're picking up.
You're pretty good at apologizing for us. And I just kind of keep moving and chuckle.
Indeed.
So you guys head towards Signa?
Yeah, following Jane.
Okay. All right. So Signa has the hood up, but through the hood you can see coming down out of her hood is messy white hair, and you can see a slight glow of green eyes when she looks up.
With a bow and a flourish, Jane is like, I'm Jane Farstrider, and we hear you are in need of services.
Hi. So, are you looking for my services, or are you looking for something to do?
We were told that you required service, that you had an errand to run in Nakapata, perhaps, and would be willing to part with a... Well, let's face it, it's part with a fee for us to do it for you.
Okay. The farmers need some fertilizer and some seeds. So
Just how much fertilizer and seeds? Are we talking like a wagon load, or are we talking like a wheelbarrow load?
oh, like a wagon load.
Marco kind of tips his head in. I'm against this.
How much room do we have?
I have no intention of loading my carriage up with fertilizer.
Okay, so
That smell will never come out.
you're saying this out loud, correct?
Oh, yes. It is definitely loud enough to be heard. Marco has no problem with saying that out loud.
Well, maybe
He
not.
is not going to be putting piles and piles and piles of fertilizer where we sleep and have our food supplies.
Well, what about the seed, though?
The
Perhaps
seed is
we
one
can help
thing.
her
The
with
seed
the
is
seed?
fine. Seed, I have no
Well,
problem
we
with,
could-
but we're definitely not putting piles and piles of manure inside of our living quarters.
Fair enough. I don't think my nose could take it anyways. But the seed, we could probably help you with the seed.
All right, the seed is fine.
And how much seed are we talking? I mean, we do have a carriage, and we're
A
already
season?
carrying, what, a forge?
In various amounts of magical components.
I would say about 2 bags worth.
Oh, so nothing major.
Probably about 100 pounds then. Because they'll be industrial sized bags, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the giant bags.
Yeah, I was going to assume like 50-pound bags of seed.
Yeah, that sounds fair. Are you sure you don't need anything else?
You mean, don't you need anything else that's not manure?
We got the seed, we got the manure. I think we're good for the farmers.
Where'd you get the manure? We're not getting the manure.
We'll figure something out.
And, we should negotiate a price for this, say, cost of seed and an additional, well, let's see, it's a 5-day trip there, 5 days back, say.
I think I
Say
have
about-
my head over again. Do you have a wagon you normally use for retrieving seed and fertilizer?
Sometimes we do.
That we could potentially hook to the back of the carriage?
An excellent idea. Something that we could tow behind us.
That would change the whole fertilizer situation.
I could probably get you something. Is that?
All right. So, if you can supply that, we will agree to get fertilizer as well. And let's say we'll do all that for 100 gold. I mean, it's a fairly long trip, and
Well, if
let's
you're getting
face
the
it.
fertilizer and the seed, right?
Correct. Provided you can provide us with a cart to pull behind our own.
What kind of creature do you have to pull your cart?
Yeah,
big draft
that's not a
horses.
problem.
I say it out loud. 4 very big draft horses. I think it was 4. I gotta go back and look.
Yeah, I think it is 4.
It is, yeah, it is. They're pretty strong.
Are they able to pull? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. A lot of fertilizer in a 250-pound bags. So that's 100 pounds, and then at least a fertilizer is I don't know, about 1,000 pounds.
That's
They should be able to. I mean, if it's in its own cart.
I'm not sure how powerful the draft horses are as far as their max pulling capacity.
I mean, really, it's a matter of hills. How big are the hills between here and there?
They can pull. I can't
I wanted to say we said somewhere around 300 or 400 pounds each.
There is a. There we go. Carrying capacity. Each draft horse can. Capacity is up to 540 pounds each.
Okay, yeah, that's 2,160 pounds.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, because the wagon itself loaded is 600. That's the capacity of the wagon.
Almost as much as you, Marco.
So that's
Not
only
wrong.
16. So even if the wagon was pushed to its limit, that's still under 2,000 pounds. There's 1,000 for that cart and 600 for the carriage.
Don't forget to include your weight for riding the wagon as well as ours. And our
I was saying
priest.
push to its limit. I'll probably be walking.
Ah,
So yeah, I'm assuming Holland's good with it, but
Yeah.
as far as the math works out, they should be plenty strong with room to spare. Because a fully loaded wagon still, or the fully loaded carriage and the fully loaded other one still leaves 560 pounds, which is more than my weight.
Okay, your animals will be able to carry all of that. Deal. 100 gold, and I provide the carriage. Not the carriage, the cart.
Yeah, just a basic wagon.
Yeah, I'll get you a basic wagon.
All right, so I think we need to go back to the smithy and get a hook or something rigged up. Thinking back, does our carriage have a hook on the back?
No, it does not.
Does it have a trailer hitch?
so about that, I was actually thinking about that. If we just lash the mounting or the harness stakes that come off of the wagon to the sides of the stairs.
Oh, we tie the horses up to, or what?
Okay, so a normal wagon has like two long poles that stick out that the horse walks in between with a harness strapped across. Right. So if we tie those two poles to the stairs on the back of the carriage.
Somehow, I don't think this is going to end well. We're talking about 1,000 pounds. We might want to get a proper rigging.
Especially
Okay.
for several days of travel.
Or, you know, what we could do is we could just, you know, unhitch one horse and have 3 horses pull the carriage and 1 horse pull the
You mean 2?
wagon. Or 2. Have split it.
Well, 2 on the way
two-
back, I suppose.
Yeah, 2 pull the carriage and 2 pull the wagon.
Yeah, we could go that way.
As long as we don't overload the carriage, 2 should be able to, you know, handle it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably the best way to go rather than creating a giant train.
It would also probably be a bit safer that way.
Yeah. All right, well, that keeps us from having to pay for another modification.
That too.
Welcome to Pimp Your Carriage.
Although, we do need to go back to the smith and get specifics on that forge deal. So I don't think we ever asked him who we need to talk to. Let me double check.
Oh, well,
I don't think we did.
shouldn't be a problem. We have to go get the carriage anyways.
Yeah, if we did, I didn't put it in the notes.
Well, in that case, I believe you need to supply the wagon and the cost of the seed and fertilizer, and then we'll be on our way.
So we're going to be prepping over by the smithy if you want to have the wagon brought over there.
We didn't make the deal. You said it was 100 gold to get that and bring it back. You didn't say I had to pay for it.
Pay for what?
The seed and fertilizer.
Well, who's
Wait a
gonna pay
minute.
for it?
So how much does this seed and fertilizer normally run?
Pretty cheap.
That's not a number.
Define cheap.
Marco got real serious all of a sudden.
Well, 10 gold.
Okay.
If we're guaranteed to find it for 10 gold, all of what you need, then we can work with that.
You'll be able to find it there.
I imagine there are some horse stables that are more than willing to get rid of the fertilizer.
Oh, I'm sure there is too.
Is there anywhere you normally go to acquire this? Or we can just have them load the wagon and we're done?
Yes, this is an excellent idea.
I have no intention to be slinging fertilizer myself.
There's an area near it's basically a stone and open fields and lots of farming. You'll find a man named Vlur. He's the man I normally have for my farming requirements. So I would talk to him.
And where's he located? Just in a farming area? I mean, that's
Yeah.
rather vague.
Yeah, it's a farming
We need
area.
a little bit more specific. Is it on the east side of town, west side of town, north, south?
I would consider it to be the bottom right corner.
Southeast corner of town?
Yeah, the bottom right corner of town.
What was his name?
What was his name again?
Vluwar.
Yeah, you're gonna have to spell that.
VLUWAR.
I think you purposely enjoy these tongue twister names.
Oh, sometimes I think about it and I'm like, that seems like a pretty cool name, and then I read it again and I'm like, maybe not.
Alright, so you want to get that wagon sent over to the smithy so we can get going today? I guess I'll head back over to... Would we? Yeah. Well, on my way out, I'll swing by Woodwee and ask him to have the recruits and their carriage or whatever they're taking meet us over by the smithy.
Sounds good to me. I will be on that. And she's been playing with her a small dagger the whole time, kind of like cleaning her fingernails and stuff like that. And she points the dagger at one of the people next to her. They're similar wear of like hood, white
Weird farmer.
white hair, and sends it off, and they go off into the crowd and walk out the door. They'll be there, but
Excellent.
by the way, since you're here and you're outsiders, have you seen a ancient artifact of evil.
Come again?
Okay, there's a lot of ancient artifacts of evil in the world. You're gonna have to be very specific on this one.
And Marco is gone by this point, headed over to the smithy.
It was known to open up, I'll say, portals to the Underverse.
Nope. Never seen anything like that.
Ah, what a shame. I was looking for something like that. Alright.
I mean, if we should happen to come across one, what would it be worth to you?
I don't know what the price of them go for.
Is there like a particular one you're looking for?
No.
Do you have a rough idea of what it looks like exactly?
Oh, I know they come from Atski.
Okay. I mean, we're heading in that direction, so it is possible we might come across one.
Oh, if you let me know, just send me a letter.
Okay. And what will this information be worth to you?
20 gold.
20 gold for a letter leading to... Alright. If I come across one, I'll send you a missive.
Alright. She slides over 20 gold.
Oh, you're going to pay up front. Excellent.
And with that, she her person that's on her, actually facing your right, it would be your right, they disappear. And then she says, she stands on the table and says, "Thank you." Curtsies, vanishes.
Just like poof, disappears into like a puff of smoke, or?
Yes, puff of smoke and disappears.
It's like, ooh, hey, not bad. And I, turn and head back to the smithy and, make our way back to the carriage and start getting ready for the trip, I suppose.
And I'm headed to the smithy specifically to talk to the smith again.
And what is Galen doing during this entire thing?
Sitting there listening, I guess I'm going to the smithy as well. Ready to get on the road and do something.
Right?
No, okay. So you guys go to the smithy, and the smithy is like been waiting for you, just kind of sitting there, and like you see there's like starting like three very skinny human males standing there, and they got like wooden staves and a backpack, like basically ready to go, like just standing there, just talking to each other.
So is anybody sneakily following us out of like the tavern or anything?
Make a perception check.
Most specifically, I'm keeping an eye for the people that disappeared. $11?
Nah, you don't see anyone.
Yeah, I rolled a 3. If it wasn't for that +8.
I rolled 3 nat 20s for their stealth.
Wow. Wow.
And I was like, that's my nat 20 for the night.
That's your nat 20 for like the next 5 nights.
But yeah, you don't see anyone.
Well, in that case, we continue on.
So I'm gonna walk right up to the smith.
Okay. And
So
he's
Go ahead.
like kind of looking around and then like also like doing his work around his smith.
Quick note. Did you have a specific place for us to retrieve that forge from that you've already paid for?
Technically I didn't pay for it. I won in a card game.
Okay, well, paid doesn't necessarily mean money. It's already yours.
Let's see.
What was his name again? Because I can't remember and I forgot to write it down.
His name was Frinan. Frinain. The guy you're looking for is his name is Mekras.
Alright, what part of town is he in?
Oh, Mekras is...
Does he specialize in building giant robots?
I knew that was coming.
No, he does not specify in that. Let's see here. I'm gonna say it's the... No, that's the wrong. I'm gonna say it's the top one. So the north, straight north.
Alright, and do you have any way of us proving that we were sent by you? 'Cause I don't think he's just gonna hand the forge to just anybody.
Do you happen to have a deck of cards?
No.
Kind of like he's like, yeah, give me a moment. Yeah, kind of like it goes up on top where his basically lives. You can hear like fumbling around. And he's like, found it. Comes back down and he has a card. It's for a human size card deck and pulls out a 8 of clubs and writes his name on it.
Okay.
And he says, there you go. You can give that to him.
I think we're gonna get ready to go and try and set out by noon here. I'm just waiting on that wagon to show up for the farmers.
Oh, that wagon showed up already. Where was it? I think it's out back, actually. And kind of
Alright.
like goes around the corner, basically like on the looking at the picture of old 20, it would be on the left side, not where your card is. And it's like, yeah, someone placed it here and then didn't tell me anything about it, just said someone will pick it up later.
Cigna sent it over.
You might want to be careful around her.
Yeah, I got that feeling. Represents the farmers, but she looks more like she's ready to slit your throat.
She's a local mob boss, isn't she?
No, she's an assassin.
Got that.
Yeah, that part she kind of gave away.
Well, did you want to take a quick look at the rigging and make sure that it's solid enough to handle a trip to Nakapata and back? We're going to hook up 2 of our draft horses to it.
Yeah, I could take a look. Are you expecting to hook up that cart to your wagon?
No, we're just going to take 2 of the draft horses off our carriage and put them on the front of the cart.
Okay, sounds good.
We're
so
just trying to rig something up.
So am I supposed to inspect the wagon or the...
Yeah, the wagon that Cigna sent over, you want to make sure that it's compatible with the draft horses' harnesses and that, and make sure it's not going to break a day into the trip.
Yeah, I can do that.
We don't know what condition it's in.
You might want to check it for, like hidden things too. I mean, after all, it did come from her, so.
And so, he takes a good look at it. Like, it's pretty sturdy. And he kind of like moves it, and like the whole cart kind of shakes, but pretty solid. And he checks the rigging, and he's like, oh, no, these can compatible with a draft horse.
Not gonna have any issue when it's fully loaded. I think they said to estimate fully loaded, it'd probably be trying to support 1,000 pounds. It's not gonna fall apart.
Do we have 1,000 pounds worth of people here?
No, it's being used to bring back fertilizer and seeds.
Well, I mean, like, do we have 1,000 pounds of people that we can just stand on top of the cart?
Probably. I don't know how much Grimbolt weighs.
Marco, get in.
I'm like 450 by myself. 420.
And he's like, oh, I'm about 200. And he kind of like hops on the cart.
I'll climb in.
Grimbolt's probably around
Grimbolt? You left Grimbolt
300
tavern.
That's a good point.
You guys never actually picked.
We're missing another 380 pounds.
Only like 180 at most, 170.
I guess. I mean,
All right, well, everybody climb in. That'll be close enough.
So you guys.
All right, if you say so.
That'll be in the upper 8s, lower 9s.
And he yells and he's, "Hey, you 3 dummies, get over here!" And like the 3 farmers are just
Forgot about that.
Walks over and like, stand on top of here. They kind of get up after all of you. And they're like, and he's like, yeah. Kind of like wobbles a little bit and tries to make it move. And he's like, no, it's pretty solid.
All right, that'll work. And then I'll set to work on bringing the 2 of the draft horses over one by one.
Okay.
Get them hooked up and pull it up behind the other carriage.
So are the 3 farmer boys going to be walking?
Off and on, I suppose. If they start falling behind, I'll just put them in a fertilizer cart. It's
That's
kind
what
of
I
a
was
face
thinking.
grin.
I mean, and Jane smiles too. I mean, that's what I was thinking too. We could just throw them in the back of that.
I mean,
Then
technically,
we
on the
can
way there, it's
travel-
not full of shit. On the way back, it will be, but we won't have them on the way back.
True.
Yeah. So, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad.
There we go. Not slowed down.
I mean, if we're gonna give them a ride, though, shouldn't they pay extra?
That's what I like to hear.
I mean, I don't
Oh,
want to
you
be
guys-
mean, but I mean, they were expected to walk originally, so if they're getting a ride, I mean, that's a 5-day travel time ride.
If I had to guess based on my little bit of talking with him, he'll probably make them pay for it.
Uh-huh. So, boys, would you rather walk or ride?
Marco just walks away to go finish setting up for the trip, tidying things up around the carriage.
And they kind of just look at each other and they're like, aren't there more of us?
I don't know. How big is your group?
He never said how many of you were coming.
Oh, I don't know. I'd probably take a ride.
But
Okay,
wouldn't
so
he say
far-
nothing to you about what's about to happen?
Just that we're going for training.
Hmm.
And who's paying for this training?
We were told we were just being dropped off at the people,
All right.
and everything was
and,
taken care of.
And he didn't say how
So-
many of you for us to expect.
No.
All right, well, we'll wait until noon because that's when I said we were leaving. So
All right. Well, this is a
Whoever shows up,
5-day
shows up.
trip, and since it's only a wagon, we'll charge you 1 gold per day. So 5 gold per person to ride.
oh, Jane, you've been around Galen too long.
And they all kind of just look at each other and are like, 5 gold?
That is incredibly expensive, especially for a farmer.
Fine. You're right. Gold is probably too much for you guys.
You realize they've probably never seen a gold coin.
We'll go with 1
So-
silver apiece.
So you have to understand that for a farmer, if they ever wanted to stay a night at a hotel or, like an inn, it's 7 copper per night.
Okay, look up the average carriage ride for the distance that we're going.
Carriage ride.
What is the medieval Uber cost?
Exactly. What is the medieval Uber costs? I don't want to, rob
point
the
is-
blind.
Between
Yeah, my point is
towns.
if you even charge silver, you're probably gonna have them go bankrupt.
So between towns, it is 3 copper pieces per mile,
All right. So,
and that's a coach cab. That's actually a really nice thing.
okay. So let's go with 3 copper per day. So that will be, 15 copper for the entire trip.
And they
And if
don't-
it takes an extra day, you don't have to fork out an extra 3 copper.
and they kind of just look at each other and all right, and they kind of nod and they're like, all right, we'll agree.
See, this way they invested on not playing a fool while we're trying to go there. Makes sense.
Exactly.
And while you guys were talking, 12 more people show up.
Are they all gonna fit in the cart?
They walk up and they're like, I think this is where we're supposed to be meeting. The notice said to Smith, a cart outside the Smith at least. Are you going to Nakapata? One of them shouts out.
It's you, Jane.
Yes, we are, gentlemen.
You're handling the fee.
Yes, we are, gentlemen. And you are...
Marco walks away and sits on the front of the carriage, clearly not
We
intending
will.
to drive the wagon.
We will escort you there. However, if you wish to ride in the wagon, and I'm sorry, it's going to be a first come first serve basis. It'll be about 15 copper for the entire trip. However, you can choose to not ride in the wagon. You can, of course, walk with us at no charge.
Like I look around. Like, can you give us about 5 extra minutes? No, maybe 10. Give us 10 minutes.
I suppose.
Okay. And they all just disappear. Just walk off. And 10 minutes comes by and they all come back riding ponies.
So much for that plan.
See? You guys are learning already.
And then the 3 in the car are like, wait, we could ride our ponies up there? Or horses?
Well, you're following us. If you own a horse or a pony that can make the trip, I suggest you go get it. I mean, be a lot easier to get home afterwards because we're not bringing you back.
And the 3 in the cart hop out and run towards the stable. And they bring over their horses. So now all 15 of them have horses or ponies.
You might want to double check that they have their food and camping supplies.
I assume you shouted this back towards me?
Yep, I shouted it all the way to you from the front carriage.
Yes, an excellent point made by my friend. Do you have all your supplies necessary for this trip? Because we will not be supplying food and drink.
Yes, we actually packed extra.
We are merely your escort. If you get into danger, we'll come
Bodyguards.
help, but... Other than that, it's up to you to set up your own camp and be ready to go when we are. We will, of course, make an announcement each morning and give you a short amount of time to get ready, but that will be it.
Who brought the tent? I didn't bring the tent. No, I didn't either. Like, I kind of get alone. Like, the last guy's like, wait, I brought the tent.
Well, if you didn't bring a tent, you're sleeping under the stars.
Under the fertilizer wagon.
Oh no, that'll cost extra.
And some of them like pull out. They're like, I think we can defend. And like some of them pull out like a wooden sword that's like basically a stake and another stake that's like hashed across to make a little hilt.
Jane picks up a rock and whizzes it past one of their heads. Like, purposely does not hit them, but just makes it whiz by enough to whistle near them.
And they try to hit it with the stake and they completely miss.
And you think you can defend yourselves?
We haven't been trained yet.
My point exactly. This is why you have us to babysit you.
Oh, you actually said it.
I mean, you're going to learn to defend yourselves and learn the ways of mercenary work so that you can defend your village and farms properly. And me telling you that I'm babysitting you is just going to be the first step you're going to have to get used to, because your teachers are going to run you into the ground.
Okay.
Now then, I'm going to see to a few more preparations. If you don't mind waiting here quietly, I will let you know when we are ready to leave.
By this time, Woodley shows up on a very large wolf made for a human. As big as, at least for a human to ride.
You're talking like a dire wolf?
Yeah, a dire wolf. And he's comes up. He's caught you just in time.
Are you coming with us?
Yeah, I need to take a trip up there anyway, so.
Ah.
That'll simplify the getting around part.
That is a big dog.
Oh, yeah,
And
you're a cat.
He kind of like pets it off the side and like rubs his fur on its head. Like,
And Jane is just like slowly edging back from the giant dog.
oh, he's so friendly, and he's like, oh, you're so adorable.
Jane's tail swishes nervously.
I can already see the wolf sitting in the back of the wagon, licking the back of Jane's head.
Don't give him ideas.
Oh, well, actually, you're going to Nakapata because I heard there's another female direwolf. So.
Wait, do you want to make more of those things?
Yes, I want to breed them.
I'm never visiting this village again.
Are you hoping the female has a black stripe along its back?
Screw you.
Wow!
That
Would
was
that be a
low
white stripe?
That's a
Or
low
would that be a
blow,
white
Edie.
stripe down the back?
No. It's from Aramore. He's tried the entire season to find a wolf with a black stripe so he could breed it and get the coloration.
Oh,
It does not
Ow.
exist, and the admins said they were gonna add it, and they still haven't added it. I've been so pissed about it.
I had to.
what was that thing about agitating the DM?
It just hit too close to home. It just lined up. Holland is trying to breed wolves in D&D now too.
Wait, isn't Aramore D&D though?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much D&D.
Anyways,
Yeah, so I'm breeding wolves, hopefully, depending how much this is gonna cost me. Hey, if they have multiple females, I'll take multiple females.
all right. So preparations are set.
Yeah, and he takes out from his a satchel on his wolf. He takes
And
out,
while they were having that conversation, I went and fetched Grimble.
and Grimble comes back with like hands loaded of waffles, waffle underneath his mask, pointing, like sticking out, like he's trying to still chew one. And like hops on the back of the cart and into
Just
his
go to your lab.
yeah, goes into his lab with like all the food.
Jimbo, be
So
careful.
I
That's
just
how you
thought
get
of this.
pets.
I just thought of this. We're picking up a priest. Perhaps we should keep him away from Grimbolt.
Grimble might just stay in that the whole time. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't
Or
think he'll
Grimble-
have too much interaction.
Or Grimbolt might eat him.
I don't think Grimbolt eats people.
I don't think we're picking up
Well-
a waffle in priest's clothes.
Well, he may turn him into an experiment, though. Anyways, we'll keep an eye out. Sure, it'll be fine.
Yeah, Marco locked the back of the carriage and heads to the front and sits and grabs the reins.
And Jane climbs onto the wagon because I know nobody else is gonna do it.
Oh yeah, that wasn't being hidden. That was an obvious fact.
Nope, I wasn't riding on that
Yes.
shit wagon. Nope.
Well, it doesn't smell like poo yet, right?
No.
I would assume no.
Good. So for the ride there, it'll be fine. It's the ride back that Jane's gonna suddenly disappear.
Okay.
Anyways,
All right, I think we can set off. Everybody good?
everybody ready?
I believe so.
And so when you do that, Woodward unravels his whip and smacks his whip at the farmers and says, "Come on!"
Wow, he's hurting them.
Excellent. If you're gonna herd them, we'll be fine.
Well, at the sound of the whip, I'll crack the reins and take off.
And so once you start moving, the farmers stop moving.
And I start moving behind and
It's gonna be a long trip. And I
And
start munching on fruit.
starts the journey.
I will keep the carriage behind the farmers. Well, not the carriage, but the wagon behind the farmers so that, the farmers are kind of in the middle. And
Okay.
and also, I'm kind of enjoying watching him, herd farmers. And I want to be behind the dog.
Okay.
Where's Galen at? Is he inside the carriage or in the front or?
Probably in the front.
So you want to ask, because I'm assuming we're coming up on the forest now.
Yeah, you are.
You want to shout back to her, climb up on the roof and shout back to Jane where she saw that pack of harpies,
Jane?
so we can avoid it.
He?
Damn it, that name.
I make the same mistake.
Jane,
That
where did you
name.
see those harpies?
Where did I see those harpies?
You went straight basically from the blacksmith shop, straight into the forest, and you traveled about,
So is it
300 feet in.
on the path we're taking, or was that a separate
Yeah.
area?
Yeah, it's on the path you guys are taking.
About 300 feet straight ahead.
They were in the path.
Oh. Ask Woodwee if there's usually an issue with harpies, or if we can pass through their territory.
So have you ever had an issue with harpies?
Sometimes.
How often?
Depending how pissed off you make them.
Oh no. There's no way
Okay.
they haven't realized there's an egg missing.
What would happen if, say, somebody stole a couple of their eggs?
I'm sure they would be very pissed off.
Okay, well, in that case, you might want to keep a sword handy.
What did you do?
Nothing. Marco may have cooked some harpy eggs for
Oh,
breakfast.
yeah, asshole. Oh, if only I could hear that.
Do you know how many harpies are in this forest?
1 or 2.
I wish that was a funny joke. No. There's about 100.
We'll be fine as long as we stick to the path, right?
How pissed did you make them off?
But I didn't do anything.
How many eggs did you take?
It's not full.
Mhm.
Did you take any eggs?
Marco cooked 2.
Oh my god. And this is why we don't get visitors.
Well, I mean, you should put out a warning sign. Beware, there be harpies. Do not feed, do not steal.
Alright. Well, we'll figure out what happens when we get up there.
Well, that shouldn't take too long. They were pretty happy when I left them.
Noticed yet.
So you guys basically meet up to that point where the harpy starts starting.
Yep, and I am just going at a neutral pace, not sprinting or drawing attention, just a nice neutral pace.
Grumble doesn't hear it, but the rest of you do, so I need you all to make a wisdom saving throw.
Nat 20,
Saving
doesn't
throw?
matter what my plus is.
That would be a 15.
Okay, 15 works. Roll for all the idiots.
Oh dear.
How many farmers are food?
I got 14.
Let's see. So for 5.
Out of 15.
I could take away these. So 9 of the 15 are enthralled by this lovely song that they hear. To you, it sounds like screeching. As you don't hear the song anymore, but you hear these like screechings from tops of the trees, and some of the farmers start like wandering off, trying to figure out where that song's coming from.
Yeah. As I start hearing this screeching, I'm just gonna kind of like subtly give myself a vigilant blessing. Just to be on the safe side.
Jane's gonna pull a short sword and lean it up against the bench so that it's right at hand.
Oh, I forgot.
Sit here and face palm.
Oh, Woodward. Woodbee. There we go. Woodbee also is immune to it, so he's like, "Hey, get back there!" And he starts smacking the whip.
Oh, is
at
this a
them.
charm?
Yes.
I would be immune to it anyways.
Okay.
Oh, it's advantage, so I would have been able. Oh, I get to roll again, actually. Yeah, the first
You
one was
made it
better.
the first time.
Good thing you got the first one.
Yeah.
That was almost an automatic fail.
Woodbee's like, "We have to get these farmers back here," and he rides off in his on his dark wolf, trying to like get them back.
You want to know how to snap people out of whatever this is?
Hit them with something. So do we stop or? do we keep going? I mean,
Well, I have a giant carriage behind me. I can't see what's going on. So if you don't shout at me to stop, I won't know to stop.
well, that's what I'm asking. Should we stop or should we just keep going?
I don't know what's going on back there.
There's a couple of farmers trying to wander off.
Oh, we have to stop. We're getting paid to protect them.
All right, well,
So I'll
All right,
pull on the
let's-
reins and come to a stop.
I come to a stop also, and then I will resheath my sword and hop down. And are there rocks on the ground?
Yes, just rocks on the ground.
Okay, so I'm gonna take up a handful of rocks and throw them at each of the enthralled farmers. Not enough to, like seriously hurt them, but enough to get their attention.
Okay, so I'm gonna say like just throw at him. Make 9 attacks.
Alrighty then. And for simplicity's sake, I'm just gonna do this with D&D Beyond.
Yeah, that's easy.
Oh, that one's a mess.
So you get your dagger plus 6 added to it?
Improvised weapon.
Ah. We just see Jane methodically pick up a handful of rocks, throw, 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 throw.
Okay, so that natural 20 hit it gets thrown right after the natural one and ricochets it back in on course.
That's asking a lot.
So out of the 6, they have to re-roll their thing. Out of the 6, you get 4 to come out of their.
You mean out of the 9?
Yeah. No, because he hit. It says he threw, but only.
Oh, out of the 6 that he actually hit. Okay, gotcha. I follow.
4 of them were able to come out, and they came back to the place.
I'm assuming the
other
ones that weren't
5.
affected are out helping.
The other 5 are still wandering around the forest, so you can see them in the distance.
Well, the ones that are
Get
now
them
out of
back
it,
here.
and just say, your friends that are walking into the forest, just punch them in the arm or something.
Yes,
Just
get
take
their
your stick and
attention.
whack them across the back of the head.
So they run off and their horses, and they go after them. And let's see, do they come out? 1, 2, 3. Only one is left. And so the other one, like, he just keeps punching him, and he's like, "Get out of this!"
Just grab the horse's reins.
And
Grab his reins and pull him back.
after like the 6th hit, he gets him out and goes back. And they're like, "All right, I think we're all here.
All right, we need to pick up pace and get out of here.
Now let's go."
Yes.
I'm gonna snap
Right.
the reins and move at a pretty quick pace. Not so fast that because we are in the middle of a forest, so not so fast that the horses are going to twist an ankle, but a pretty decent pace.
I will copy suit with the wagon behind all the recruits to make sure we have them all.
Yeah, there's all 15 there. Plus,
Where did Wolf Boy run off to? Did he come back?
yeah, he got me back.
Okay.
Puts his whip away, gets out his mace.
I got my shield strapped to my forearm on my left side, just in case.
Just gonna readjust my short sword so that it's easy to draw.
So you go through the forest and you can still hear like the screeching when more and more you get into this forest. And you realize that like you start seeing like harpy droppings on the ground and feathers and old nests that have been torn apart and thrown at the bottom.
I think your forest has a bit of a harpy infestation.
We're just gonna keep going.
This seems to be getting worse.
It gets worse the more you get into the forest, but it finally clears up. So keep going.
We are definitely going to be getting some hazard pay for this.
All right, we'll keep up at a decent, like, as quick a pace as we can go without endangering the horses.
We don't want to break a wheel either.
Yeah. The quickest realistic pace that we can go through a forest.
Well, it is supposed to be like a road too, right? Like a path?
Yeah. Yeah, we're probably on that stone path, I think, is where we're currently at.
And you finally get to the road that you see. There's a curved bend in the middle of the forest of this random road. And on the road, eating a harpy, is a Avarian carnivore with muscular body of a lion and the head, 4 legs, and wings of an eagle.
Oh no.
Did you just say there's a griffin in the road?
Yep.
Galen, do you know what that is?
Steak.
I don't even know if I know what it is.
Do I do like an Arcana check or what?
I'm from underwater, so my odds of knowing it are slim.
It's a history.
Well,
A history check.
Jane knows what it is because sphinxes are generally
The carriage is also in the way of you seeing it. I'm assuming. Is Jane able to see it around the carriage, being the wagons directly behind the carriage?
Ooh, that's a good point.
I rolled a 14.
I'm gonna roll my history check as well, but I'm assuming it's gonna be a pretty high DC for me, being I don't know.
Marco's just
I'm
like,
underwater.
I've read this somewhere, apparently, and Galen's like, oh, I know this. You guys know it's a griffin.
It's a griffin.
I've never seen one, but that wouldn't happen to be a griffin, would it?
It looks like a griffin.
Oh, that's the road we need.
That's not going to move unless we do something about it.
Can we go around it?
How
the
much room
forest
is on
with this-
either side? How much room is on either side of it?
There's a quite bit of room on either side of it.
Like enough that we're not gonna freak the thing out? And
Is it like-
try and protect
is it
its
like-
food?
I mean, I'm talking without going into the forest, because that will have bad effects on the wagon.
How
And the
big is this
carriage.
griffin?
That's a good point. Is this like a full adult, or is it fairly
Yeah, it's a full
young?
adult.
How big
And-
is a full adult griffin?
It's a large monstrosity. It's considered.
Good. So
It
could wreck our stuff if we get anywhere close to it. So we might have to park this stuff back and take care of it.
I mean, they're slightly larger than the giant draft horses we have.
And Woodweed's like, why are we stopping?
That's a griffin right there.
There's
Yeah.
a griffin in the road.
just go past it.
All right.
Won't it attack us?
You've never dealt with creatures, have you?
Nope.
Not that one.
I'm from underwater.
You don't
I've
happen
seen
to
them.
have some raw meat with you, do you?
Oh, well, it's kind of eating a harpy at the moment.
Yeah, you still don't have any raw meat with you, do you?
Yes, lots of it. Lots.
Borrow,
of
like,
it.
you know, a handful.
Like Marco is seriously perplexed at this moment. Kill the harpy, give up food. Kill the harpy, give up food.
You mean kill the griffin?
Yeah, kill the griffin. Like he is like seriously hardcore thinking this over. This is not a acceptable outcome. Kill the griffin, give up food, get more food, give up food, get more food, give up food.
If you don't hurry up, it's gonna call its pack.
Oh, there's more of them.
Wait, they travel in packs?
Yes.
All right, no, I don't want to risk losing the carriage of my horses. Just one time, I will allow the loss of some meat. Then I'll go in.
Okay.
I'll come to a stop and I'll go in the back and grab the 2 pounds of boar meat that I got, and I'll toss that over by it from a distance.
Oh, cool. And like Woodreed gets off his wolf and tells his wolf, stay. And like the wolf just sits. Of course, like alert, but just sits. And he picks up the meat, walks over, slowly goes up, holding the meat out, and his other hand like just open palmed, saying calm. You notice that this griffin is looking at him at this point and just staring him down. And then he starts flapping his wings and like turns his body so make sure his whole body is facing Woodward. His head's facing him straight on. Wings are slightly outwards. And Woodward just slowly keeps going and holds up the boar meat. And you see the griffin just slightly move forward. And snatches the meat out of his hand and steps a couple back and starts eating it. And Woodward goes up to the griffin and starts petting its beak. And starts petting the side of his head.
We go now.
And Woodward's like, yeah, go past.
All right, crack the reins, and I go. No hesitation.
Yeah, there's no
not
hesitation.
like racing by, but
We'll go by at a calm, steady place so as not to spook the thing. Because I doubt we want to startle it.
Yep, so you guys, and he's just petting in gentle, and you guys all go by with the farmers going by too. And he kind of just backs away slowly with him facing still. He just backs up back to his wolf, hops on the wolf, and the griffin goes back to eating the harpy, and he races off and follows you guys.
So you've had a lot of experience with griffins?
My guild is about hunting.
Oh,
We learn about a lot of creatures.
How are you with raising?
Not too shabby. It depends what it is, but I've grown a couple creatures in my time.
Grown any griffins?
No, I have a friend who specializes in them, though.
Really? How far away is this friend?
Oh, let's see. He's, pretty far. Lives up by the snow.
Is up
let's
by
see.
the snow?
Do you know where, let's see, it's north of Kegvarum, past Metal, past Mech, in the mountain ranges there.
Oh.
In the
Can I hear this
wildlands.
conversation?
Yeah, you can
Probably
hear that.
not.
You can probably hear it.
How loud are they talking?
Woodward is like pretty loud of a person.
Oh.
He has like
I mean,
he has a grumpy voice, but he's pretty loud still.
also he's riding a wolf and I'm riding the wagon, so we're talking loud enough to carry on a conversation between those.
Yeah.
True.
Is that anyone near Evershaw?
It's in the mountain range, close to it. Yeah.
You said north of Kegvarum, so I mean that's pretty north
Yeah.
in the mountain range. So, and that's actually where I'm from, is Evershaw.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, he's a lone griffin breeder in the hills, not the hills, the mountains over there.
Unfortunately, we're not headed that way right now.
Right. Well, I mean, if we ever head up that way, my family and whatnot, and possibly meet your griffin trainer friend.
Indeed.
I might have known another one. I don't know if he's still alive. He's pretty old. He's probably in his, let's see, he's 500 now. He's an elf.
I mean, what if someone theoretically got a hold of a griffin egg?
They're pretty cheap to come by, depending who you talk to.
Well, I mean, if someone just happened to have one and was, keeping it warm appropriately,
You
because they
looking
do
to
take a
sell it?
while. No, I'm kind of looking to train it.
Oh, okay. It takes about 5 years to fully train.
From hatching, they only take
Yep.
about 5 years to full growth. Well,
About.
that's not bad.
Also depends on the bloodline and so the breeders get into all that. I just keep drinking
Yeah.
and hope to cancel that out.
I wouldn't know about the bloodlines.
But let's see here. There's another breeder, Kepkala Zemla. There's some wildlands out there near the mountains. That there's another griffin breeder, but he's an old elf. I don't know if he's still around or not, but he's out there somewhere. He's been doing it for I don't know, like 200 years, something like that.
That's definitely experience. Well, I'll just have to keep them in mind.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to, guild of a hunt. It's interesting to have, but sometimes you meet the most interesting creatures and breeders.
I assume we're, making normal travel time during this
Yeah.
conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what kind of skills do you guys have?
Dane's good at getting hit a lot.
not a skill.
He's just like his eyes, you know. So he like perks up a little bit. And he's like, "Oh, you're a fighter."
Yeah, no, I'm not really a fighter.
More like a napper.
I'm an archaeologist. My goodness.
Oh, archaeologist. Who was that gnome creature I met a while back? Oh, he lives in Kegvarum.
Skitter?
Yeah, that's his name. Does he still run that,
Yes, he does.
underground? Yeah.
Actually
So
done quite a
you're
bit of work
acquainted
him.
with Skitter. Yes, we've done quite a bit of work for him. Like
He did a couple favors for me. Well, actually, I mostly used him for his services, but
I was one of his retrievers for quite some time.
yeah, there was one item he still can't find. And has me a little worried that no one can find it because he is the third person I've asked to retrieve the item.
What item is that?
It is one of the keys to the ancient tomb.
Ancient tomb? Jane's eyebrow blatantly raises.
Have you never heard of this story?
Well, that's probably going to set off 2 members of our group.
Yes, do tell.
Oh, well, you ever hear of the War of the Gods?
Yes, we are familiar with the overall story.
How much the things sell for? Continue.
So there is a tomb in a desert, buried somewhere in the desert. Still haven't found the tomb yet, but
Shaped like a giant tiger.
no. But
Wow.
I do hear
All I
us
have
tell
to
you
say.
that. But it's a giant. It's a giant. Giant gate, I guess, that has a portal generation to it. Underneath the sand somewhere. It's been such a long time, sand just covering up. But there's 13 keys that are needed to create this portal. And I heard about one of the keys being in a certain nation. Still don't know where it went, but had Skitter try to retrieve it.
That nation be Adski.
No, it's a whole different nation. It was called Predstonost?
Rodsnost? Whoops.
Prestonost?
I'm out of the computer at the moment if somebody else wants to take note. I'm listening, though.
Prestidigitation?
Pragmatism.
Let me see if I can find it.
Also, how dare you hide in the kitchen, Darkwing?
I got hungry. Bite me.
Marco's always hungry.
Inspiration had to come from somewhere.
He has a point.
Yeah, I can't argue that one.
Oh, someone misspelled it on the map. But, press stop.
Oh gosh. Stopnust.
Yeah.
Rustupnust. Rustup.
Pressed up nose.
P-Town.
Yeah, someone said there was a key somewhere in that nation, and I just was hoping I could get to it before anyone else.
How far
funny
away
thing
is Rustupnost or whatever? How far away is that?
It's let's see, all the way south. Probably take you a couple months to get there by then.
That's going to be a... Do that, that's probably going to be a down-the-line type thing.
Hence why I went to Skitter for it.
Right.
Since his network goes all over.
So, I thought it was funny that the two Griffin trainers are in my homeland and Galen's homeland.
Indeed.
Oh, well, so he is Trepkala Zemla. Like, if you go over there, basically, if you go northeast, like that giant green area, that's where he's somewhere.
So in the unexplored area?
Yeah, the wildlands is what I call them.
Lovely.
So, yeah, so, that's one thing. So, also, you do archaeology, how about you? He kind of like looks at you, Galen. You with the, I guess, the robe, I guess I'll call it.
Yes. The robe, but... Well... I guess you could say... a mix of arcane practitioner and traveling merchant.
Like under Marco's breath, just loud enough for Galen to hear. Fancy way to say magical scam artist.
Hmm.
You've heard of magical girls? Well, he's a magical trade person.
What I said was only loud enough for Galen to hear.
Hmm.
No, Jane said this quite out loud.
Hmm. But yeah, I travel around with this, with the motley crew here. Try to set up trade networks where I can. You know?
No,
He
you're
gets
a
all
traitor.
He even gets sparkly on occasion.
The very tip of one of Jane's whiskers, it's a little bit of ice on it. What was that? Sparkles? What? Sparkles?
Sparkly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have to admit, you're a bit reflective.
That's true. I don't want to do it here. It might, like, scare the horses or something, or scare the wolf. I don't want to do that. Ah,
Or
yes.
draw another griffin.
I'll draw another griffin, yes. We don't want to make a whole bunch of noise, but yes, on occasion, I do get rather reflective.
As we've learned, birds have a tendency to be attracted to shiny things.
Very true. Probably not the best unless we actually get into combat to show everyone. Still working on keeping all that under control, you know. Not best.
So, but you're a tradesman.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, what kind of ports do you have in your trade route?
It's dealing. It's let's see, one of Skitter's old trade routes. Do some negotiations and stuff. I took over one of those. I have my own galley. I have to find this in the list here. Gallop? No. Okay. It just says, do you happen to know where Port Crumb is?
Ah, yes, I do actually.
Yeah, I have a trade route currently from Port Crumb to Nithomel.
Okay. So you go from Kekvarum to Spazabo?
Close, pretty close. Right now, it's more of a remote thing, trading commodities and whatnot as it goes down there. Kind of
If you like trading, I would actually suggest going to Poplavki.
Lovekey, all right.
It's in the vicinity, basically, maybe about the same distance from Port Crumb to wherever the other port was.
Nithomel, yes.
But Poplavsky is an island not too far. That's a pretty decent area. They're always up for some trade.
Poplovsky.
Poplavki.
Got it. Thank you. Wonderful.
I hope you don't mind, like, orcs and goblins.
Oh, no problem whatsoever.
Okay.
As long as they don't try to eat me, I'm fine. That's pretty much goes for anyone, no matter where I go. Don't really want to get eaten, you know?
Which I still don't understand why you hang out with Marco so much then.
Why don't we
He
get
seems-
eaten?
I mean, he seems like he would eat pretty much anything.
Fair, but I mean, I figure I would know if I started to get cooked, right?
True.
He's very adamant on cooking his food.
Well, I'm pretty sure you could stay cool in that situation.
Indeed. Would you guess that this the original plan to keep cold storage was to have me like provide ice every once in a while? The audacity for these long trips. I don't. No. Talking
Makes
to
him useful.
Let's see. So about your trade and your okay. And what about you, Turtle Man?
Traveling cook.
Oh, we always have a
Working on learning other cultures' cooking skills.
He's actually quite good.
When necessary, I'm decent at ripping things up with my claws.
Decent? You have a bad habit of ripping up things with your claws that don't actually need to be ripped up with claws.
Yeah, perspective.
Wasn't there a story about a door or something?
I was obliging their request.
Interesting. Yeah. I've been through my share of jails. It's not common to be inside of a jail's hell, I guess.
He also has a bad habit of falling downstairs.
What are you talking about?
At least he makes up for that in good food.
That's good. Let's see. I got through you. You had your friend with horns, I guess. I don't know where he went.
He likes to stay in the carriage.
Okay, and what does he do?
You know, honestly, I don't think any of us really knows.
He's more like a client. We have an ongoing contract with him.
Indeed, he's assisting me with a mission to assisting us with a mission to take care of someone who gravely wronged us.
Okay. Alright. I think I got all of you. You've seen the farmers. They're a bunch of farmers.
Yes, that's painfully obvious.
Yeah, unfortunately, our little town does not have, the balance and guards that we need, so we use Dakapata for training center, and then unfortunately, these lands are a little bit more cursed than I thought.
Yeah, you seem to have a harpy infestation. That's really close to town. You should do something about that.
Also, griffins.
You say curse. Do you mean that figuratively?
Let's see. How can I explain this? Well, he's not here, so I can explain it. You've met, what's his name? Arid.
Yeah.
Best way to explain him is he's a cleric.
Then why do you need a new cleric for the church?
Well, no, he's a cleric. He's not a priest. And according to the church that basically runs this nation of peacefulness, or peacefulness, in quotes, the clerics are supposed to be the holy protectors, and the priests are supposed to be the teachers of religion.
Uh-huh.
And spread the word of religion and blah blah. Unfortunately, some priests just get too full of themselves and stuff like that. But these lands are basically church owned. Before, Anise was very, very poor. Until the church came and said, we will fund you if you allow us to rule you. So, we thought, not a bad idea. But it seems like it's just cursed wherever we go.
I was gonna say, judging on the lands that we've seen, that doesn't seem to have changed any.
No, they haven't done anything. Just kind of like rule with an iron fist, I would say.
Yeah, churches are weird.
But that's it's what we do living here. It kind of sucks. Sometimes if you go a little bit north from here, past the mountains, there's actually a very, very large lake with a river that actually reaches to the ocean. And you'll find some of the original tribes that lived here that keep themselves separate from everyone else. There's also a forest up north that kind of like borders the border of Malinovi. That's also free lands from the church because the church refuses to go into them. do for reasons. Do you know what a dark elf is?
Vaguely. Specifics.
Well, dark elf has certain measures of wants to achieve the best of their ability, and so that forest is full of something called driders.
Oh God. Those are horrible things.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
What are driders?
Think of a half elf, half monster spider.
Oh,
They're very nasty.
oh,
Yeah, fortunately they mostly live underground, most of them.
Unless you, some of them create their webs and stuff in the forest, depending how thick the forest is.
that's this forest.
No, not this forest. We're safe in this forest.
They're,
Safe. There's harpies and griffins.
well,
The things I've seen, there's worse.
they hate sunlight, so it has to be a very dense forest.
Yeah, the forest is, you need a lantern during the day.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that would
this
be dark
one.
enough.
And he, like, points and he's like, see, you can see the sun coming through the leaves and such in this forest. But, the worst that's in this forest is, I don't know, maybe a small dragon. And then he gets like, he's like, nothing that you guys cannot take care of, it seems like.
Well, I suppose we'll see if we come across anything.
I did befriend a dragon somewhere in this forest. I don't even know where he went.
We've tended to talk to some too. Now, you said you befriended a dragon in this forest. Do you happen to remember what color the scales were, maybe?
Oh, let's see. Black, I think it was.
Ooh, a black dragon. Interesting.
Wait,
Very,
and you
very
made-
grumpy.
You made friends
You
with
made
it?
I wouldn't say complete friendship, but acquaintances, I would say.
You are brave, sir.
He hated that kobolds were warp shipping him and everything, and he was like, if you get rid of him, I will leave you alone, and I'll have a favor for you.
So more of a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
That
Yeah,
lines up
Definitely
a
not
bit
with
more.
too deep.
Yeah, he hasn't killed me yet, so.
That's good. That's good.
And it's been a whole year since I've talked to him. but
Count yourself
so-
lucky.
Maybe it's more of a lines of I'll scratch you, or you scratch my back, I won't scratch yours.
Yeah, it's in a way. I did find him a mate, though. That was an interesting one. Of a favor he asked me. Almost died during that one. That was an interesting time.
Inside check.
Go ahead.
Is he a dragon?
I'm just trying to get an idea if he's starting to BS us. 17.
No, he's not BSing you.
The guy is riding a freaking dire wolf. So he's been around at least a little bit.
What else have I done? Have you ever flew a wyvern?
Nope, can't say we have. We have flown on the back of a
I
mammoth.
dare you to explain it.
He's like, back of him. I mean, like those giant war harnesses?
No, we were in the war harness, yes, but it was a flying mammoth.
It's going over my head. Mammoths don't fly.
They do when you have magic spells and a big castle to jump from.
And a dragon.
A dragon?
Yep.
I feel like this is like a campfire story.
Nope. True story.
I mean, is that kind of like, befriending a black dragon, which are known to be the most vile-tempered and cruel of all of them? Campfire stories.
I can go take him to you.
No, we're fine. I'm good.
I can't guarantee you lie. Last time I took someone there, he killed that person, so...
Yep, that lines up.
Yeah, that sounds like a black dragon.
Unfortunately for me, my armor was slightly anti-acid, so I survived.
Unfortunately for you. What?
Yeah, that armor cost me a fortune.
Oh,
I imagine there wasn't much left of it afterwards.
No, it just gave you enough time to take it off.
oh dear.
But I'm still working with an alchemist for an anti-acid armor. We'll eventually get to it, but it's in progress. But, wait, have we spent the whole day talking? And, like, you realize that the sun's starting to go down a little bit.
What better way to pass the time while traveling?
And he's like, I guess we should start setting up camp since we got 15, we'll say idiots.
15 farm boys?
Yeah, farm boys.
None of them are named Wesley, right?
No. So I guess we should set up camp. Let's see. And he basically takes his mace and starts throws it into one of the trees and says, "You guys camp here."
In the tree?
And then to the farmers.
Oh.
And then he goes over and takes his mace out. Says, I guess I'll camp here. And he kind of just gets off the wolf and tells him to sit.
Stop, Marco. We're gonna pull up for the night.
Basically just pull the wagon to a stop where it's at. I don't really foresee anybody coming down this road.
I don't either. I say we just leave the carts and the horses on the road. You have the feed bucket, and I guess we can we'll take turns. An hour for these horses, an hour for these horses.
Yep, that should work. So I'll set the bucket out.
And you guys are like starting to unpack, and you see all 15 farmers have already chopped down a nice land of tree with there's like some stumps. They already pulled out some of the stumps from the ground. They made a pretty flat area, and they already set up a giant tent for all of them to sleep in with a campfire in the front.
Damn, they made quick work of that.
And you see that Woodwee's like still like got this like A-frame tent that he's just like trying to keep up. And like fiddling with, he's like, it won't work, and like trying to tie it down too to keep it up.
Yeah, while they're doing that, I'm getting a campfire going. I'm gonna start cooking.
So,
I'm voting we don't go foraging for vegetables this time.
No vegetables?
Well, I'll use what we have in supplies. How about we don't go out there and look in order to avoid using supplies? This forest seems to be a bit hostile.
All right. I was thinking about going to look for a rabbit, but
I have a feeling you'd become the rabbit.
I suppose. Well, it's not like you don't have any fresh meat left over. We still have some fish, right?
Yeah. We got just a little bit more fish.
Well, of course you're the chef, so
I'll cook up the last of the fish that we've got. Well, the last of the red fish. Just make some simple fish that we can snack on. Fry up some potatoes that are just in steaks. Basically, just a bunch of snack foods.
Bad.
I mean, baked potato on a stick is okay with me.
Carriage. Where's my veggies? There we go.
I swear I've not done similar in real life, like as in, take a potato, wrap it in foil, and throw it in a campfire.
So after I cook the normal meal, I'm gonna take like 2 pounds of my beef and just cut it into strips, a little bit thicker than I did the bacon, and then just with the fire having died down, just kind of have it slow cook and mostly just basically I'm making jerky. Oh, and just let it go while we're sleeping.
Okay.
Make some dried meat that'll last a bit longer.
Who wants first watch tonight?
Take first watch. That might as well.
All right, I'll take second watch.
All right.
Hey, put Grimbolt on third.
Me.
No, I'll take third. And this time I can wake Grimbolt up. I'm tired of him throwing rocks at me.
So I take one of the logs that farmers have chopped and kind of put, outside around the big tension thing. I imagine there's like a stump or something. I roll it over next to the fire, kind of plop my butt down on top, cross-legged, and just sit in front of the fire that's outside and just look around. Get ready for bed. Let's see. Is there anything else that happens before everybody goes to sleep?
Nope.
No, I'm not really doing anything. I'm just gonna kind of start resting right away.
Right. I will do an investigation check.
Perception check?
Same thing. 13. Yeah, perception.
All right. Actually, that's perception.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Also, I need you to do D100.
Ah, yes.
001.
14.
Oh, that got close.
Yes, it did.
All right. I'm so tempted to make that like under 20 and have everyone just double the numbers of each one. I might do that for next week.
We're not going to be playing this next week.
That's right, we won't be the following week.
Mm-hmm.
Shenanigans ensue next week.
I'm just hoping it ends in a single night.
Have you met this group?
I'm well aware.
You bet Steve.
Oh, just remember, it'll be up to you guys to take notes next week. I'm assuming Kid needs to go wake somebody up. Or Galen, I mean.
Did
Gets to wake you up.
Did I see anything during my watch?
Nope.
I'm just leaning against one of the wheels of the carriage with a blanket wrapped around me.
Gander over to Marco and tap him on the shell. Time for your watch, my friend. I'm going to bed.
Fine. Just kind of roll over and get up.
Yep, all clear so far.
So I just kind of start off by like pacing right up along the edge of the forest and taking a look into it very closely. And then I'll just kind of go back to the campfire and just to be on the safe side, because I don't know how much we can trust, would we? I am going to cast both Detect Evil and Good and Detect Magic, just kind of subtly with my back to their camp.
Okay.
And then once I cast those, I'll just kind of start taking a look around, both in the forest and towards their camp.
Okay.
This should pretty much be everything I'm going to do.
So how far, like, does your thing go?
They both reach 30 feet out from me. How far away are their camps from me?
I'd say about like 50 feet.
Alright, they got somebody on duty, right? They're doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
there's like a farmer just switches up.
Alright, well, I'm gonna kind of just like generically go say hi for a minute and then come back. Basically just to make sure my 30 feet encompasses their camp temporarily. And then come back.
All right, so are you just going in just so it can cover your?
Yeah. I'm walking over to the center of their camp where their person on guard is, asking him how he is, and then coming back.
All right. Woodley's like, oh, I'm pretty good, and no glow from Woodley for good or evil, and the wolf he has slightly glows.
Which one of the three? Magic, evil, or good?
Evil.
Oh. Just subtly though, right?
Just subtly.
Okay.
And then all the farmers are what was it? It's good, right? It can shine too. Yeah.
Yeah, good, evil, and then magic as well.
And they're like all good. Like, you know, like you see that just like they're all super positive and like ready to like, you know, defend, kind of like morale.
Yeah, as I head back to camp, it's just I should have known. Just work my way back to camp. Do I spot anything in the forest as well as I'm walking past? Because I can only imagine if there was like harpies or something in the forest edge, they'd give off a little bit of an evil glow.
No, there's nothing evil or good or anything, like nothing's triggering within the forest that you can see. Like, I think the range is like a certain amount.
30 feet.
Yeah,
it's a 30-foot radius.
Yeah, you wouldn't see anything.
All right, so if the first half of my shift goes okay, I'll keep my back to the wagon and look towards the forest and just kind of meditate with my eyes open.
Okay.
17.
You see nothing in the distance. Nice, calm night.
All right, I'll head over to the cart and crawl up the ladder and start poking Jane in the leg.
Huh? What?
Wake up.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I'll crawl back down and lay back against the wheel and go to sleep after checking on the meat one last time.
So Jane wakes up and begins his watch. And yeah, how much of the camp can I see from on top of the carriage?
You can pretty see much majority of it.
Okay, good. So, okay, that's a 16 and add 8 for my perception check.
Okay. So you look around and you see the camp, and you see during your watch the farmers switch out every hour. Because there's 15 of them. Would we just kind of wakes up during the night, kind of a little bit, looks around, goes back to sleep. You also see that his tent is not up whatsoever. He's sleeping underneath the stars. He gave up. The tent's just flattened.
And so about this smoking meat.
Oh yeah,
Well, you're a daring one.
How long does it take smoking meat to make? I don't actually know how long beef jerky takes.
It depends on how thick and whatnot it is, but it's an average of 6 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
6-7 hours, give or take.
The thinner you cut it, the faster it goes, then vice versa.
I don't know how thick you cut it.
But an average time would be 6 to 7 hours.
Okay.
So this is third watch, so they're not quite done yet, right? They're getting close, but they're not quite done
It'd
yet.
be about halfway through fourth watch. It'd be when they're finished.
Okay.
Shame those aren't done yet. I'm gonna have to bug him for 1 in the morning, because I've been smelling those things. All right, well, so I make a good round, keep a good eye around the camp and everything. Keep an eye on the carts and whatnot.
Okay.
And then, after my watch is up, I guess it's, crawl down, enter the carriage, and knock on Grimbolt's door.
Grimbolt's yes.
It's time for your watch.
That was actually pretty good.
Okay. One moment. Let me finish what I'm in here for. He gets
Slams the door in his face.
Yep, slams the door in the face.
Make sure to keep my tail out of the door.
That would hurt. Magical door.
And then I guess by the time you get on top or wherever you're sleeping, like he comes out, sits.
Curl up and try and get some sleep with the smell of smoking meat in my nose.
Okay. And so during his watch, nothing happens. Okay. And who was last? Galen? Right.
I
What
went
was the
first.
last one?
Grimbolt was last.
Okay, Grimbolt was last. All right, so he kind of like goes around, like kind of like wakes everyone up.
And are we stopping there? Seeing as how we got like
yes.
10 minutes left.
That actually would be a really good spot. Stop. Yeah, actually, that's a good spot. Yeah, we will end our session here.
Right. Very nice. More information. Couple jobs. Back into the travel simulator.
Travel simulator doesn't get too bad until you get information.
Okay.